Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another deadline stream. We are in game week 33. Let me remember the game week, which means we have 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 6 game weeks left. Quick maths with FPL Raptor. I'm good at maths, I promise. So this is it. I think there's now 3 single game weeks left, right? 33, 36, 38. Then we've got 3 double game weeks, 34, 35, and 37. So I think after this, so back-to-back doubles after this, then one little break, then another double, and then the final game week of the season. I always feel slightly emotional when we come towards the end of the season. I think because obviously I spend even more time than the normal person on FPL. It's such an emotional attachment to every season. Sometimes it's not the best emotional attachment, but I have really enjoyed this season. It's been a different challenge for me. Because usually what happens in FPL, if you've been following my channel across the 2.5 years that I've been doing YouTube, I normally start insanely well. Like in my first season on YouTube, I got up to like 10k within 5 or 6 weeks. On my second season on YouTube last year, I got up to like 99th in the world after like game week 10, 11. And this year, I was at like 3 million in game week 8. So it was a different season for me, but I've very much enjoyed this season nonetheless. Good morning from Lincoln. Good morning, Rush. Yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from. I should have said that as always. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what you're doing right now. I'm hoping my computer behaves itself today because it's not been behaving itself recently. But I guess we'll see in a second. Any Foden news? I'm going to go out on a limb, which is against what everyone else is saying. I think Foden will start. There you go. That's my prediction. I think Foden starts. No one else does. I think he does. But we don't have any leaks. We don't have any leaks yet. I don't know if we will either. I've not seen anyone say that they think they'll get it ahead of time, so we'll see. But it's worth sticking around just in case, because obviously they do sometimes get team news quite early. Morning from Singapore. Big up to Singapore. Good to see you, Polkit. Good to see you, FPL Pickle. Morning, Eggy. FPL Pickle is normally here. FPL Pickle is not here today. Sadly, she is at home, and I'm going to see her later. Normally she comes to see me, because she's amazing, but I'm going to see her today. My mother in the chat. Good morning, Mum. Good to see you in the chat nice and early. And I'm sure Nana Raptor's watching as well, as she always is. So big shout out to Nana Raptor. Right. Frosty, by the way, good to see you on time for once, because let's be real. Have you ever been on time for a stream? Definitely not the last few. You rock up halfway through. Outrageous. Call yourself a moderator? Zodiac in the chat as always as well. I appreciate you, my man. Right, let's move on to my team. I haven't made any transfers for once because there was two reasons. There was no value in early transfers given I've got team value, I've got money in the bank, and I don't foresee needing all the money. The other thing is the 2 players that I was looking at taking out were both close to a price rise, and one of them actually rose in price. So at the moment, I'm looking at probably taking out Darwin and 8 Nuri, and both of them were close to a price rise. 8 Nuri actually went up in price, and so I was like, do you know what? There's no point me making the transfers when I might actually have the players that I'm looking at selling going up. So, yeah. There's Nana Raptor. Good morning, my darling. Good morning, Nana Raptor. We love you very much. So, this is the way that the team is currently looking and lining up. I've got 2 free transfers. Sorry for repeating myself for anyone that's watched my videos throughout the week, but I've got 2 free transfers. And because I'm free hitting next week in game week 34, I need to use both of my free transfers this week. So, feel free, maybe you haven't watched my videos all week and this is the first piece of content you've seen. What would you do? 2 free transfers have to be used, and I'm building towards bench boost 37. I think selling one of Bradley and 8 Nuri makes sense. I think selling Raya could make sense, although I kind of want to stick with an Arsenal defender of some kind. And then outside of that, it's Saka to Foden or Darwin to another attacker. Are you sick again? No, I just sound like this in the morning. I only woke up about an hour ago, so I probably sound like I've just woken up. I don't want to sell Bradley overly this week, because I think Bradley will start. I also think 8 Nuri will start, but I think Bradley will start. And Bradley, I just think he's been points dodging recently. I don't know, I've got a feeling he could do okay. Getting City assets has to be the priority. Potentially. But which ones? I think Foden will start, but I don't know if I want to do Saka to Foden regardless. I could do Saka to Foden. It's not a bad move. Yeah, sell Saka and Darwin this week. I could do that. But what am I keeping 8 Nuri for? Like, 8 Nuri's not like in game week, I'm going to bring in Dan Burn at some point. He could play for me in 35. I don't really desperately want a bench boost with Ain't Nuri, but I don't mind doing it. I could sell Saka. Do you think Grealish will start? My concern... So I think Haaland will start. I think Foden will start. And I think Alvarez will probably start. I think one of KDB, Grealish, or Bernardo Silva, or potentially two of them, might be benched. If KDB does start, it'll obviously be Foden on the left, which means I think Grealish and Bernardo Silva will be rested, and maybe even KDB. I wouldn't feel overly confident of a Grealish start, but I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. We'll have to wait for the team leaks, but I am completely not ruling out a Foden start. In fact, if you were to ask me to pick the Man City 11 that I think will start, I think Foden will be in it. But I know that's... Listen, everyone else has already sold Foden and counted him out. So if you think Foden starts, then... if you think Foden's benched, then you can sell him. But I think Foden will start. JSY, just with the love heart. Thank you for being a member for 9 months, JSY. I appreciate you. Do you think Rodri will start? I don't think Rodri will start, no. Ain't Nuri has good fixtures for bench boost 35 or 37. I think I'm starting to commit towards no bench boost 35 and bench boost 37. And if that's the case, I'd still prefer Dan Burn for 37. Hayden says, no free hit. Got Ahmad when drunk. Swap for Sarabia. Yeah, I think I would do that. Ahmad's not going to play. Son to Diaz or roll, depending on Haaland's start. I wouldn't do Son to Diaz this week. I do love Diaz this week, by the way, but I think Sonny could go massive. Newcastle have injuries. The sort of defence that Newcastle are suits Son quite well too. If Foden starts, he's 100% coming in. I am tempted, but the thing is, if he starts, he could only get 45 or 60. I mean, there is the temptation there. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we do it. I like João Pedro a lot, so I'm thinking Darwin to João Pedro is a move I'd like to make. Maybe I do keep Ain't Nuri a little bit longer. Maybe Saka to Foden's the best use of my transfer. If we get confirmation that Foden starts, would you do Saka to Foden in my position, chat? I don't love selling Saka, but his data's been naff recently. Remember, this was a penalty. So outside of that, it was about 0.4. Didn't play. 0.01 against City. 0.45 here. Obviously came off at halftime there. This run here was wonderful, but I'm not been overly impressed with what I've seen from Saka recently. And his minutes as well, right? 63, missed the game. 77, 90, 45, 75, 68, 66. So apart from the one game against Brentford, the only other time he's played 90 minutes was in game week 22. So his minutes aren't overly secure either. So maybe Saka to Foden's a move I want to make. Maybe. But, I mean, the thing is, Aston Villa have defended very, very, very poorly. If you go for João Pedro, you could go Saka to KDB. I could do, yeah. It's a temptation, but I think my issue is I need to also think about 35 onwards, and I just wonder how secure KDB's minutes are. You're taking out a penalty taker in Saka for Foden. That is true, but also at the same time, you don't just keep players because they're on pens. And Foden has the extra fixture. He has better fixtures. I don't know. I am very tempted to keep Saka. But I also agree that there's no real need to keep him. Like, the fixtures aren't perfect for the remainder of the season. Foden does get me one more doubler in 37. I don't know. Something to think about. Let me switch these two for the time being. So the planned transfers at the moment is Darwin to João Pedro and Ain't Nuri to Dan Burn. With my 2 free transfers. And leave the starting 11 as it is. Obviously, João Pedro would come in. But I am tempted to do Saka to Foden. If I do Saka to Foden, I still think I want JP. So I still think I'll do Darwin to João Pedro. I'd probably just leave Ain't Nuri. So I wouldn't touch my defence. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still a little bit up in the air about what I want to do. But we'll see. 1 week punt in Burmo or Garnacho. If it's a 1 week punt, I don't love Garnacho. I'd go in Burmo. Free hit 34 and tempted to sell Saka. What are your thoughts on Bruno? I love Bruno Fernandes as an option. I don't really have many issues with him. His data's actually improved a bit recently as well. Yeah, I mean, I was going to try and think. The only issue I suppose I have is I don't think he's got much open play goal threat. I know he's got a lot of attacking returns, but more attacking returns recently. But open play goal threat, if you watch Man United, he's a lot deeper than he used to be. He doesn't get into those advanced positions as much. So I don't know that you'll get that many attacking returns from him from open play. But if he gets a couple of pens, a few assists, Bruno's still a really nice option. Darwin or Bradley out this week? 1 free transfer, free hit 34, bench boost 37. I think you could go either way with that, to be honest. I think in isolation, Darwin's a better option than Bradley in most weeks, but it depends who you're bringing in and obviously who you would start instead. So I'm probably more likely to take out Darwin than Bradley this week. But when I say that out loud, it doesn't make that much sense, does it? Shazam with the big boy super chat. My man, you are... Drop me a message on some kind of social media because you've been far too kind. I'd love to chat to you. But he says, morning, Ross. Hope you're well. Not free hitting 34 as I have 10 players already. Brilliant. I have 2 free transfers, but a Game Week 33 Fantasy Football Hub rating of 97%. Sounds pretty good. Should I burn a transfer or do HAALAND to Tony and Bradley to Van Dijk? Oh, I quite like that, actually. But the thing is, that's not really improving your team for this week. No, I don't like that, actually. Because I think HAALAND's better than Tony because I think he'll start. And Bradley Van Dijk this week, they're equally good options. Bradley might even be slightly better. I would try and find another place to use your transfer. And if you really can't, then yeah, burn it. But I'm sure there is somewhere. Like, let's say you've got Neto in goal. Is maybe Pickford a better option? Or Henderson for the double? If you've got Branthwaite, do you think upgrading him to Tarkowski might be slightly more... Do you know what I mean? Like, there is probably some way you can at least use one transfer. And then just roll the second one. But I'm not a massive fan of that double move, sadly. Although Tony is a really nice option this week. It is very, very difficult, right? Because we're almost being forced to make transfers that we don't want to make. Especially if you're free hit 34 like me, because we've got to make both transfers. Yeah, Ederson. So in the press conference, Pep Guardiola confirmed that Ederson is first choice goalkeeper still. Yeah, there's a fake FPL Raptor going around to every stream and saying Foden's injured. I don't know why. I mean, it's very sad. It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Like, of all the people to pretend to be, why pretend to be FPL Raptor? But I don't know. Let's just ignore that guy. He's not been in my stream, obviously, because I would just ban that guy immediately. But he's going around to all of the other streams saying that Foden's it. Foden's not in. I think Foden will start, is my prediction. Thoughts on Hall as an alternative to Burn? I don't know that... Isn't Hall a doubt for this week? Oh, likely won't be needed until 36. In that case, I wouldn't... I mean, Livramento could be back by then. Kieran Trippier will be. Could you see a situation where they play Burn at left back, Trippier at right back, potentially? Or even Burn at centre back, Trippier at left back, Krath at right back? I think Lewis Hall just isn't secure enough. And I don't think his attacking threat is that much better that it's worth going for him instead. So no, I wouldn't go for Lewis Hall as an alternative to Dan Burn. I much prefer Dan Burn, just for security of minutes. Because Dan Burn can play centre-back or left-back. Hamad says, best goalkeeper for Game Week 33 and 34. Probably Pickford. Pickford or... Probably Raya. In isolation, Raya, but it depends if you've already got a triple Arsenal. If we're ignoring Raya, then yeah, probably it is Pickford, I think. Or maybe Henderson. Lewis says, I have no City players and it terrifies me. Should I take a -4 to bring one in? I can either do Saka, Diaz to Foden or Tony to Haaland. Other people won't like this, but I quite like Tony to Haaland because I just think Haaland's a much better asset than Tony. Saka, Diaz to Foden. The only way I would make that move is if you are free hitting in 34. If you're not free hitting in 34, then I wouldn't sell Saka and Diaz. Morning, Claudette. Good to see you in the chat, as always. I think Foden starting is... Everyone's telling me that... there's no news yet, as far as I'm aware. My prediction is that it will start. There we go. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, you can laugh at me. Got some coffee today. Looks a bit weird, but hey. Why is he bringing in Burn and not Fabian Schär? I did have this thought, actually. Do I just go for Fabian Schär? The thing is, Fabian Schär's not shown as much attacking threat recently. Why do you think Foden's starting? Because I just don't think Foden just suddenly starts getting benched in every Premier League game. It makes no sense. People are like, oh my God, he's got to be saved for the Real Madrid game. Does he? Why? Like, why all of a sudden does Foden need to miss out every Premier League game? It just makes no sense to me. He's just had his rest, right? I think Foden starts. I certainly wouldn't be selling Foden before 11. Wait, before like 10:45 when hopefully we get some team leaks. I wouldn't be doing it now. He had an issue that was being assessed, right? No, he was in training. He was in full training. Look, where was Man City's Twitter? Let's go over Twitter. As far as I'm aware, Foden was back in City training immediately. Was this it? Oh, that was Sunday. No, that's not the one. I'm sure they posted a picture of Phil Foden smiling away. God, they post way too much. Man City, you need to calm down. Was this after the game? I mean, it could have been taken whenever, to be fair, but it'd be a bit random to, like... I don't think they're trying to bait Luton into anything, do you know what I mean? I think he's fine. Pep confirmed after the game he's probably fine as well. I think Foden's okay. I think Foden will start. So the temptation's certainly going to be there. In a minute, I'll look at my plan and I'll see how much my plan changes if I decide to do Saka to Foden instead of Ait-Nouri to Dan Burn. Maybe that's the more attacking play. We'll see. I messaged you yesterday, Ross. Ait-Nouri is 100% out today. He didn't actually travel with the squad. Have you got proof of that? Not obviously. I'm sorry to doubt you, but like Gary O'Neill said, he's fine and he's going to train. So a lot of people were planning to start Ait-Nouri this week. So if there is some serious news that he's not travelled, then that would be important to know. Any chance you could do a captaincy poll, please? Yeah, absolutely. Assuming we get no leaks, who would you start? Who would you start? Who would you captain? Assuming we get no leaks, who would you captain? What was I saying? Oh yeah, HAALAND. Who are we captaining this week? Is it just HAALAND? It's probably HAALAND and Salah, really, for most people, isn't it? I'll put Son on there as well, because I think he's a decent shout. Right, there you go. There's a captaincy poll. Feel free to answer away. Yeah, I suppose Foden is. Yeah, vote for other then if you're captaining Foden. Yeah, Palmer's never a bad shout for captaincy. I think Palmer's got the most game weeks in which a player has a return, maybe alongside Ollie Watkins. Palmer just doesn't really blank. Does Kelleher start this weekend? It's a great question. Yes, I think Kelleher probably does start, but I don't know. No idea here. 2 free transfers, free hit 34, bench boost 37. Two goalkeepers, only outs could be Darwin, Saka, Bradley. Ideally, just use the one transfer. Thinking Darwin to Pedro or Højlund. You need to use both of them, though, mate. Otherwise, if you're free hit 34, you need to use both of your transfers. So Darwin to Pedro or Højlund sounds good, and then probably either Bradley to someone like a Dan Burn or Dallo, or you do Saka to Foden. Two free transfers, Son and Kelleher to Luis Diaz and Pickford. I hate selling Son this week. I would just use one of them this week. I would do like Kelleher to Pickford for this week if you can, or Kelleher to Henderson. And then next week do Son to Luis Diaz. I'm not saying that Luis Diaz is a bad option this week, but Sonny's really nice. So I'm less of a fan of that at the moment. Do we have any news on Foden? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Isaac Foden in for Darwin and Saka. Free hit 34, 2 free transfers. Yeah, I like that a lot. I have no real issues with that. Watkins to who and why? I have 2 free transfers, no chips. If you've got no chips left, Tony's a decent option. HAALAND's a decent option. Who else? Maybe you could still go for Darwin or Isaac. I think my top 3 options, if you've got absolutely no chips left, would be Isaac, HAALAND, or... Oh my God, who was the other option I just said? Isaac or HAALAND or Tony, based on fixtures and based on you needing them pretty much every week. Mr. Meerkat Monster says Saka and Maniz to Isaac and Gordon. Free hitting 34, so setting up for 35 onwards. Saka and Maniz to Isaac and Gordon. Yeah, I've got no real issue with that, to be honest. Yeah, if you free hit 34, that does set you up very well for the future. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Obviously, this week you're losing Saka, which isn't great, but you're going to have to probably lose him at some point anyway. I'm on free hit 34, so which transfer should I do? In that case, Lewis, I don't mind. I'd still think I'd do Tony to Haaland for me. But maybe wait for us to get information around whether Haaland starts or not. Sophie has been a member for 7 months. Thank you very much, Sophie. I do appreciate you. Dashmate says, hi, Easter Ross. Hello. Give me the team and the bench. Said, got 1 free transfer, roll or move. Wildcard, triple captain, bench boost left. What is the best wildcard week? Team looks very nice, to be honest, mate. DCL is a bit of a doubt, isn't he, is the only concern there. But you've got a decent bench. I'd just play Solanke, probably. Yeah, your team's looking good. I would probably roll the transfer, use 2 transfers in 34, wildcard 35, triple captain 36, bench boost 37. So I think you play a wildcard triple captain bench boost in 35, 36, 37. And yeah, I would roll the transfer this week. Your team's looking good. You've got Haaland, you've got Salah. The only other... You've even got Foden in there. The only players you're missing, the likes of like Luis Diaz, Darwin, Saka, but you could look to bring them in the 34. Do we have any news on Foden? Not yet, sadly. Everyone's after it. The only information we have is my prediction, which is that he starts, but I've got no backing for that, so let's wait and see. Free hit 34, so I need to use my free transfer. Okay, Dave. I'm getting Burn in and benching him. Would you sell Gabriel or Bradley for him? Other defenders are Gusto, Udogie, Van Heck. I'd rather sell Bradley than Gabriel, Dave. I'd really... if you can hold on to your Arsenal assets, I would. You'll know when we know. Exactly. Everyone will know when everyone knows. Durgler Max with... You need to stop making a habit of this. With another big super chat. Just says, hi, Ross. How are you? I'm fantastic. How are you? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're planning for this week as well. You are absolutely ridiculously kind. You and Shazam are single-handedly holding up this YouTube channel, I'm not going to lie. But thank you to the pair of you for all of the kind super chats. I appreciate it. Chris says, good morning, Ross. Good morning, Chris. Everyone's so polite. No free hit 34, wildcard 35, bench boost 37. Gross to Havertz, Erdegaard or Diaz. Already have both double Arsenal and double Liverpool. I've actually seen a couple of people... and this isn't fear-mongering, it's just based on what I've seen on Twitter, predict that Havertz might get a rest against Villa. I'm not necessarily sure I believe that, but if that's the case, maybe this isn't the best week to go for him. I'd go for Diaz. Yeah, I'd go for Diaz this week. Already have double Arsenal, double Liverpool. Yeah, go for Diaz this week. And then next week, you can decide if you want to go for Havertz or Odegaard. I think that makes more sense for me, Chris. Nick says, start 3 of Bradley, Gvardiol, Gabriel, Gusto, 8 Nuri. Wow. I would start Bradley. I would start Gabriel. Oh, wow. I'd start Bradley, Gvardiol, and Gabriel. And I'd bench Gusto and 8 Nuri. Nick, but that is a terrible benching headache, I'm not going to lie. Daniel says, I'm 50 points clear in my mini league, but really want to captain Havertz. What are your thoughts? That was bad timing. I literally just said that I think he might be rested. I don't think he's a great captaincy shout, no. And sorry if he does go big now, but I think there are better ways to have fun and take risks than that myself. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Captain Havertz. I'm currently watching from Newport, Oregon, 1:26 in the morning. Big up to everyone that's watching this in a different time zone. I do appreciate you a lot. Only 234 likes. Come on, guys. Thank you, Lionel. Lionel Messi. Lionel Fernandez. What a name that is. Yeah, if you are enjoying today's stream, please do smash the like button. And make sure to subscribe as well. This time of the season, no one bothers subscribing. It's like you literally gain like 100 subscribers a month. So if you do fancy subscribing, I would really appreciate it. Where is FPL Pickle? FPL Pickle is at home currently watching the stream. I'm sure she will say hello in the chat at some point. She has been in the chat a little bit, but yeah, she's at home watching at the moment. She comes to see me pretty much every weekend, but this weekend I'm going to see her after the stream. So literally straight after the stream, I'll jump on a train and go to see her. We don't live together, sadly. How comes you're not considering a City defender if you take out 8 Nuri? There's no real good reason. She's watching Andy for sure. She probably is, yeah. Outrageous. FPL Pickle is commenting on Andy's stream. She's got about 30 seconds to prove herself. Otherwise, oh, here we go. Just about in time. Hello, currently have a bad headache, so trying to keep myself awake. Oh, go to sleep then if you've got a bad headache and set an alarm. Don't have to be here. Sorry, City defender. I just think rotation's too bad for City defenders. I'm not going to lie. I'm just not interested. If I was going to go anywhere, I'd go Edison. But even Edison looks like he's been rotated a little bit at the moment. Would you buy White or Saliba for 33 and 34? I'd probably take a risk with Ben White. He's got slightly more attacking threat. Hey, mate, no free hit and no wildcard. 2 free transfers. I need a replacement for Richards. Do you recommend going for Gusto now since James is nearly back? If not, then who? Well, assuming you don't need them in 34, yeah, I'd still go Gusto. But if you need them in 34 as well, Gusto's not going to help you there. Maybe a Reguilon. Reguilon's got really nice fixtures and he's still pretty cheap. If not Reguilon, Branthwaite. In fact, I think Branthwaite is arguably the best option, considering the fixtures and that he has in 34 and 37. So yeah, Branthwaite, Gusto, or Reguilon would be my top 3. Ryan says, start 1 of 8 Nuri, Gvardiol, or Porro. Much love. I think it's got to be Gvardiol unless we get a leak that he doesn't start, because it just looks like a good fixture for a clean sheet, but also he's actually shown some good attacking threat recently. But the thing is, 8 Nuri and Porro both have more attacking threat than Gvardiol. I think you just have to decide like what you value more. Is it clean sheets or is it attacking threat? I think Gvardiol's got a little bit of both. I can't see Porro or 8 Nuri keeping a clean sheet. Maybe 8 Nuri actually has got a slightly more chance. Richie and 8 Nuri to Foden and Burn versus Richie and Muniz to Gordon and João Pedro. I like the latter quite a lot. But also this week getting Foden feels good. I think if you're looking for upside this week here for FPL, I'd go Foden. If you're looking longer term, I think Gordon and João Pedro will serve you well. Who to play out of Saka, Palmer or Muniz? Palmer, Saka, Muniz in that order. Just because Palmer's minutes are so much more secure than Saka's. Nicola says 2 free transfers. Petrovic to Brighton goalkeeper. Yeah, Verbruggen. And Darwin to Nicholas Jackson, using the same strategy as you. I quite like that. Actually, FPL Pickle herself was talking about doing this the other day, which is the switcheroo. Selling Petrovic to someone else like Onana or Pickford or a Brighton goalkeeper, and then doing Darwin to Jackson. So moving off of double Chelsea defence and moving to Jackson. The only concern I'd have with that is if Jackson gets booked in 33 or 34, he misses 2 games. So let's say he gets booked in game week 34 against Arsenal, he misses both games in double game week 35. That does mean you'd then have him for 36, by the way, but I mean, one of the benefits of having Chelsea players is the double-double. So I don't know how I feel about that one. Bench boost 34, Haaland, Garnacho, Reguilon, and Dubravka. Yeah, that is very tempting, isn't it? But you don't have any doublers there, so it's a fully single game week bench. But it is a very nice single game week bench. I'd definitely be tempted, considering you've got Haaland on there and Garnacho against Sheffield United. What is it, Reguilon against Luton? It's definitely not a bad bench boost at all. Sorry, chat, I lost where I was. Let me find it. There we go. Larry has been a member for 25 months. Thank you very much, Larry. Good morning, Raptor bruv. Wildcarding in 35. What are your thoughts on taking a punt on Tony/Wissa? Would be for Solanke. Yeah. It depends, though. I'm assuming you're free hitting in 34, because if you're not free hitting in 34, I would keep Solanke, because he's got Man United this week, which is a good fixture, and then he's got a double next week, whereas Tony and Wissa don't. So assuming you're free hit 34, yes, I don't mind the idea, and I'd still go for Tony ahead of Wissa for me. Zayab says, 8 Nuri to Gvardiol, Van Heck or Burn. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. If you need them this week, Gvardiol. If you don't need them this week, then Dan Burn. Or Van Heck, I suppose, if you need them this week's fine. I keep forgetting that I'm starting Van Heck. Maybe you could do something. You never know. JS Weiss has got to sleep in a minute because I'm in the US. Would you leave the captain on Haaland or Salah? Thank you. Have a great stream. I'd be very surprised if Haaland's benched. Like, very, very surprised. I'd go as far as saying I'm like 90% sure that Haaland will start. So I would leave the armband on Haaland myself. If I had serious doubts around a Haaland start, I'd captain Salah. But as you can see, my armband is on Haaland. So yeah, I'd feel pretty comfortable there. Trippier, Morris, and Saka for Pedro, Aya, and Gordon. Yes, but selling Trippier, like, you're going to want Trippier from 35 onwards, unless you're on a free hit. Unless you're on a wildcard 35. But if you are, I don't know why you'd be making the Pedro and Gordon moves. I don't mind it, Connor, but I think as soon as Trippier's back, most people want him back in their teams. But I do feel like, in general, the moves that you're planning to make there look pretty good to me as well. So it's up to you. Alexander says, morning, Ross. Hope you're well. I am well. Thank you very much, Alexander. Start João Pedro or Garnacho. Definitely João Pedro. Also, what three would you start from 8 Nuri, Burn, Gabriel, Gusto, and Udogi? I would start Gabriel, 8 Nuri, and Gusto. And I'd bench Burn and Udogi. But yeah, I'd definitely start João Pedro ahead of Garnacho. It might not pay off, but you've got a penalty taker probably starting against Burnley versus a non-penalty taker definitely starting, but against Bournemouth. So I think I prefer João Pedro for the upside, potentially. Going Son to KDB and Udogi to Reguilon, what are your thoughts? Yeah. I'm assuming you're not free hitting 34 then. So you probably do need to think about removing a couple of your Spurs and Chelsea assets. So yeah, I don't mind it. I just think this week Son's a really good option. We don't even know that KDB starts, by the way. He could still be ill. I like the idea of keeping Son. I think KDB's not as nailed on to start as some people are suggesting. I'm not saying he won't, by the way. Wait for team news, because there's a good chance that he does. But if he was ill, and let's say he had a couple of days off after that, why is Foden more likely to be on the bench than KDB? I think, if anything, KDB's probably more likely to be rested for the Real Madrid game, considering that he's been ill. So I would wait on KDB. And so, yeah, I don't love the Son's KDB move this week. What are your thoughts on Gabriel missing training for a birthday? Is that what you missed training for? I doubt that's what you missed training for. I saw that Gabriel wasn't pictured in team training, but I think it was just like a rest day or a deload day. If that was the case, then I assume he got given the go-ahead by Arteta, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. If he just skipped training, then yeah, he'd be fined by the club. But I can't imagine he did that. I think it was literally just a bit of a rest for him. Unless I've missed something. Unless that's been like confirmed now that was the case. Eight Nuri to Gusto, Foden to Son, Solanke to João Pedro. Yeah, I don't mind those moves. Actually, I don't like those moves particularly. 2 free transfers, Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Does this sound good? I have most others long term, I guess. 8 Nuri to Gusto sounds great. Solanke to João Pedro sounds great. I don't love Foden to Son this week. So I would do the 8 Nuri to Gusto and Solanke to João Pedro moves with your 2 free transfers. I wouldn't do the Foden to Son move. I also wouldn't take a hit, because if you're doing all 3 of those, you're taking a hit, right? So just do 2 of them. Rochi says, Saka to Eze. Don't love that. Foden to Garnacho. Don't love that. To make way for Darwin to Haaland. I like that part, but I feel like you've just got to bite the bullet. And just go without Haaland. Saka to Eze and Foden to Garnacho is 2 massive downgrades. You've got to find the money somewhere else, I think. Or just go without Haaland. I don't like those moves. Sorry. I just think they're too big of a downgrade, both of them. Gordon to Foden. Minutes should be more secure and good, thanks. Oh, Gordon is better than Foden. Are you saying Gordon to... People use this symbol, right? This symbol means like better than or greater than. But some people use it as in this person to that person. So I don't know. If you're saying is Gordon better than Foden, no. Is he a very good option, though? Yes. Would I sell Gordon to Foden? No. Hopefully that answers all of your questions. Will has just become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much, Will. I do appreciate you. Have you been a member before, Will? I know I've messaged you on social media, but I don't know if you've been a member before. Maybe you haven't. If this is your first time, thank you very much. I do appreciate you a lot. And welcome. Oh, yeah. Okay, so just realised my super chat looks like I'm selling Foden. I've got neither Foden nor Gordon, just contemplating who to bring in. Yeah, I think I prefer Foden to Gordon slightly. But I still think Gordon's really nice as an option. And there's a good chance I bring in Gordon at some point. You've got... Oh, sorry. Apparently I'm using double negatives. I don't mean to use double negatives. That's just my poor grammar. I do apologise. Polkit says, Dubravka, Gabriel, Saliba, 8 Neri, Mo... Okay, you give me your team. 2 free transfers, no free hit. Areola to Hendo and Roll. Yeah, that team's really well set up. Yeah, you're really well set up for the double already. Don't need to use 2 this week. Already got Foden. Already got Haaland. Already got double Liverpool. Is that triple? Yeah, triple Arsenal. I agree, Polkit. Areola to Henderson. Probably still start Dubravka, to be honest. And Roll. Yeah, I like that a lot. Lucas says, what's your plan? I don't know at the moment. I need to use 2 free transfers, but I don't know what I'm actually doing with those 2 free transfers. Taylor says, same front 8 as you, but Gordon instead of Garnacho. Would you be tempted to start Gordon over Darwin? I'd be tempted, but I'd still start Darwin. If Haaland doesn't haul, is it time to sell? 14 plus million. Not for me. Because I don't have anywhere I want to spend the money. I don't need the extra money. If I sell Haaland, it's not getting me that much. So no. But I understand, like, if your team value is really bad, there's probably a discussion to be had about selling Haaland to free up the money elsewhere. FPL Machine says, which of these 3 to start? Gabriel, Gusto, Branthwaite, 8 Nuri, and Van Heck. Gabriel, Gusto, 8 Nuri. And I'd bench Branthwaite and Van Heck. I'd have Van Heck ahead of Branthwaite on the bench, though. Who do I start? Isak, Muniz, Zabani, 8 Nuri. I would start Isak, and I would start Muniz. If you need to start one of your defenders, I'd start 8 Nuri ahead of Zabani. But I'd always back the attackers ahead of the defenders most of the time. It's why we play 3 at the back. We're playing like the minimum number of defenders that you can. I would always aim to start as many attackers as you can. Hi, Ross. What are your thoughts on Højlund as a United fan? I love him, but he's definitely still like a raw talent. He shouldn't be starting the amount of games he is. We need another striker that can provide competition for him. When we brought in a Højlund, I don't think we brought in Højlund expecting him to have to start every single game. But obviously, Martial's been a bit of a flop. Rashford's just not particularly good through the middle. And we haven't managed to secure anyone else as competition for him. We could really do with like a top attacking option where Højlund has to play very well to get into the starting 11. Or at least have the option to play both of them, one off each other. I think Højlund could do some support up there. He just seems very isolated at points, I find. Reese says, no free hits. Where was that? No free hit 34. Areola and 8 Nuri to Pickford and Gabriel. Love you, Ross. I love you too. Arietta and 8 Nuri to Pickford and Gabriel. Oof. Do I love selling 8 Nuri? No. But I like Pickford and Gabriel. I'm fine with that. I just wonder, is there a way that you can just keep 8 Nuri? Although if you've not got... Do you know what? If you've not got Gabriel and you're no free at 34, yeah, that's probably a move I would make, mate. Yeah. W Stream says, free hit 34, bench boost 37, and 2 free transfers. If it's leaked KDB starts, I'm tempted to do Salah, Muniz to Pedro KDB. Frees up funds to remove Bradley and Kelleher also. What are your thoughts? I hate selling Salah, but I understand the temptation to do it. I still wouldn't do it. So, no. For me, no, but that's because I love Salah, and I think he's excellent. If you think Salah's not going to do that well this week, and KDB will, and he's leaked to start, then yeah, do it. But I've got a feeling KDB might not start. Just a random prediction. I definitely think Foden starts, but I'm not sure about KDB. Thanks a lot for reading that long message, Ross. You're welcome, Polkit. Thank you for always being in here. I do appreciate you a lot. Yossi says, 2 free transfers and free hit 34. Can't decide on Solanke Gabriel to Isaac Van Heck. Okay. Or Zabani Morris to burn Pedro to improve the bench. Love from a Knots neighbour. Big love. I really like Zabani and Morris to João Pedro and burn. And then you need to really start João Pedro. And then maybe Solanke to Isaac in 35. Yeah, I would do Zabani to Morris. Zabani and Morris to burn and Pedro this week. And then in 35, Solanke to Isaac. And I think you should be set. That would be the way I'd do this. Mo says, hi, Raptor. I'm free hit 34, bench boost 37. I've got Haaland, Solanke, Isaac, Saka, Salah, Son, Palmer. Who to bench, please? Thanks. Solanke. The only 2 you could bench there is Solanke and Isaac. And I just think Isac's in a nicer run of form. I think he's a slightly better FPL option. They're both on pens. They're both playing against defenses that ship goals. I'd just about bench Solanke. But if you really want to start Solanke, then you bench Isaac, I think. That's the way that I would look at this. Just checking and making sure we don't have anything on Twitter yet. Okay. I don't think we've got any early team news quite yet. I'm expecting it to be more like, I reckon, 10:40 if we get it. But I don't... Just because City aren't the early kickoff, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get early team news. So yeah, I think you have to be willing to make decisions based on the fact we'll get nothing. I currently have Van Dijk, Diaz, and Darwin with 2 free transfers. Should I do Darwin and Son to Salah and Cunha Mateta or wait a week? Wildcard 35. That's a really good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. TGH94. I'd make the move this... No, I wouldn't. I don't want to sell Son this week. Maybe you just hope that Salah doesn't go big and do it next week. Because not only are you selling Darwin, but you're selling Son. I guess it is for free. I think that's a very close one. I would be tempted to just do... I'd be tempted to just do Darwin to Cunha this week or something like that. Oh, that's a very tight one, though. I'm sorry I've not given you much help there. It basically comes to... If you think Salah outscores Son by a little bit, then I would make the move this week. If you think Son's a really good option and you think he could outscore Salah, which I think is potentially the case, then maybe you just keep Son for one more week. I know Son's been a bit disappointing, but I really like him this week for the fixture. Tony to Haaland or Morris to Isaac. Free hit in 34 too. Or probably Morris to Isaac is the bigger upgrade this week, and then Tony to Haaland in 35. Although I just think Haaland's going to start, and if so, he's going to be probably the best captaincy option and be really highly owned. It depends what rank you're at, I suppose, as well. Like, how much of a risk do you want to take? Hi, Ross. Martinez to Petrovic, Darwin to Haaland from -4. Yeah, that seems relatively straightforward and easy for me. Yeah, I like that, Rashid. Chris says KDB to Foden, free hit 34 on wildcard last week. Only if we get confirmation KDB's benched and Foden starts. That's the only reason I'd make that move. Yeah, I would only make that move if that's the case. But if that is the case, then yeah, absolutely, I'd sell KDB for Foden for free. Yusuf says, hi, Ross. Love the channel. My team's set up. Goalkeeper. Okay, you give me your team. Stick with the team. Have 2 free transfers. I don't know your strategy moving forward, Yusuf. But assuming that you're... based on this team, I'd say you're probably not free hitting in 34. So you need to make one move. If that's the case, I think Muniz to Mateta or Cunha would be my move. And then I'd roll the second free transfer, Yusuf. But that's obviously without knowing your strategy. If you are free hitting 34, then maybe you look at a João Pedro instead. But I would look at that Muniz spot and just think, I don't mind Muniz, by the way, but he's got no remaining doubles and the fixtures aren't perfect. I think you could potentially look to replace Muniz. I am hungry, chat. I have not eaten food since... When did I eat food? I had dinner at 6 p.m. last night. There has been no food. I guess I'm not technically fasting because I've had a sip of my coffee. But I have not had any... I have not had any actual food in my belly. Joe McKay says, is Gusto the best long-term option if free hit 34 over Van Heck and DB, Dan Burn? Oh, my camera's gone. Nice. Yeah, I still think Gusto's better than those two, just about. Just due to the extra fixture and the attacking threat. But I do think Dan Burn and Van Heck are great options if you just don't want to back the Chelsea defence. On free hit 34, 2 free transfers. Saka to Foden and Bradley to Burn. Yep, no issues with that. Maybe let's wait and see if we get confirmation if Foden starts. But I'm predicting that he will. And if that is the case, then I don't mind that at all. Van Dijk to Bradley or 8 Nuri. Wildcard 34 is possible. I don't like wildcard 34. Why are you selling Van Dijk? I'd keep Van Dijk, Reese. And I wouldn't wildcard 34. I don't like wildcard 34 at all. I just don't think wildcard 34 makes sense because the team you'd want in 34 is different to the team you'd want from 35 onwards. It's the equivalent of wildcarding in 29. I didn't like that. I just didn't really understand it. Because like I said, the team you'd want from in 29 is different from the team you'd want from 30 onwards. Zane says, help please. Giving me their team. Try not to just give me your team, guys, because it takes so long to look at it and then try to give me more like questions-based stuff. But Zane has given me his team and said 2 free transfers, bench boost and free hit. No money in the bank. What do I do? Oh, so you're bench boost and free hit. So you're probably free hit 34, bench boost 37. No money in the bank. Maybe Lascelles to Cambuala isn't an awful transfer, or Darwin to João Pedro, or Darwin to Højlund. I would probably sell Darwin or sell Lascelles, but if you've got no money in the bank, it's Willy Cambuala is probably your only option, which obviously doesn't feel fantastic. This is a really difficult week for so many people, I think. I just ordered a McDonald's breakfast. You should too, Ross. I'd love that right now, Sophie. I want that breakfast wrap. FPL Pickle was talking about this breakfast wrap that McDonald's do, and it got me going. I'm not gonna lie. There was a hash brown in there. I would muller a breakfast wrap. Should I do like an ASMR stream? Should I Uber Eats some McDonald's and just eat it on stream down the mic? How many people would leave? I think a lot of people. Is Foden going to start? I predict that he will, but I've got no real idea if he actually is going to start or not. Why would you sell Bradley with a double game week coming up? Because not most people, some people have a free hit in 34. So Bradley with a double coming up doesn't help us. Mark says, hi Ross, hope you're well. I'm very well, Mark. I'm very well, Mark. How are you? 1 free transfer, free hit 34, bench boost 37. Thinking of Salah to De Bruyne and Solanke to Haaland for a -4. Thoughts and suggestions? Do you know what? I don't mind that. But again, you're selling Salah as part of a -4. That has such potential to go wrong. And you're selling Solanke before playing Man United. So yes, Mark, I think this week you're getting 2 better players probably. And it does set you up well up for the long term. But just be prepared that is something that could really go horribly wrong. Dan says, finally getting rid of Lascelles this week. Burn or Van Heck. Solanke also out. Højlund or Pedro. I still think Van Heck's probably slightly better for me than Dan Burn. Especially given this week as well. But if you don't need him this week, maybe Dan Burn. Højlund or João Pedro? I'm probably going to go João Pedro. On penalties, better data. But Højlund's minutes are definitely more secure than João Pedro. Okay, that's important to understand as well. I haven't had one in years, but it was so good. I really want this breakfast wrap now. Boycott McDonald's. I can't boycott McDonald's. I'm sorry. I love McDonald's. So unhealthy and so gross, but so good. I haven't had McDonald's in a while though, because I'm on the cut at the moment. I'm trying to lose some weight. I think you can already tell, well, I can tell. My face looks a little bit less puffy, but I am on the cut at the moment, which means I have to be well behaved. Mo says I've got Haaland, Solanke, Isak, Saka, Salah, Son, Palmer, Gordon. Okay, who to bench, please? Thanks. Do you need to bench one of them? I'd bench Gordon. Or would I bench Solanke? No, I'd bench Gordon. Solanke's on pens. Yeah, I'd bench Gordon out of those options. Marcus says Foden to Diaz, Havertz, Erdegaard. Doing the transfer next week anyway. No free hit. Wildcard. I wouldn't do it this week. I wouldn't do it this week. I'd rather sell Zuma or something like that instead. I wouldn't sell Foden this. Unless we get confirmation Foden doesn't. I can't believe some people have sold Foden already. I think that's madness. I think everyone's just assumed he's benched. What team do you support? I support Manchester United. Start Solanke or Garnacho. I'd start Solanke and bench Garnacho. Yeah, I think I'd start Solanke, bench Garnacho. Don't worry, guys. I've just seen a few people say I've missed their super chat. I'm still doing the super chats. I'm trying to bounce between the normal chat and super chats because I don't want to literally just only answer people that super chat. So I'm sort of bouncing between the two. But don't worry, I'll get rounded to you. If you've super chatted, I'll answer it. No, we don't have any Foden news yet. Hi, Ross. Start Foden or Jackson? Foden, definitely. I need to have a look at my team in a second because I want to see how much it affects my plan if I bring in Foden for Saka this week. Because I'm very tempted to just do that. The Dat97 says, would you go Morris and Son or Saka for Haaland and Sarabia for a -4 or roll? Got Foden and 8 Nuri to worry about as well as my bench is weak. I think Foden and 8 Nuri will both play. I would roll. Although you've got no Haaland. If you've got no Haaland, actually, I think I'd do it now. Yeah. I would go Morris and Son to Haaland and Sarabia. I would do that. But just, I don't love the idea of selling Son this week. That's why I was a bit hesitant on it. I just think Sonny could do quite well. If Foden starts, is he a captain option? Yeah? Yeah, he is. He always is. Two free transfers, 1.5 million in the bank. Only the bench boost left. What would you do with my team? Petrovic, Neto, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Gusto. Okay, your entire team's there. Two free transfers, 1.5 in the bank. Only bench boost left. Salah, Son, Zaka, Palmer, Foden, Watkins, Darwin. Watkins out for Isak. Watkins out for Isak would be my move there. Dive, I think. Because you could play him in 34 if you want to. It's not an awful fixture, but then he sets you up well from 35 onwards. And then I'd roll the second free transfer. Will says, on free hit 34, I need to get rid of one of my single game week players this week. Of Darwin, Gabriel, or Bradley. Who should I get rid of? I think I'm leaning towards getting rid of Darwin. I think Gabriel would be the one I'd try to hold on to. Just because of how good Arsenal are defensively. Luke says, hey Ross, good content as always. Thank you very much. Have two free transfers. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. If we get no team leaks, plan is to do Darwin to João Pedro and Havertz to Foden. What are your thoughts on that? I guess if you're free hit 34, Havertz and Darwin being sold's fine. Yeah, actually, I quite like that. Especially as there are some people suggesting Havertz might get his minutes managed in this game. Darwin to João Pedro and Havertz to Foden seems fine to me. Yeah, I'd be happy with that, Luke. CLC giving me their entire team. Again, guys, if we cannot give entire teams, because I won't be able to give you as much help as you would like, because it's obviously a little bit quick fire. Have two free transfers, no chips and no subs, all fodder subs. Any weak spots or ideas for a fun transfer and a good spot? Solanke to Tony could be fun. Where else could be a fun punt? I think that's it, really. Solanke to Tony or Solanke to Alvarez. If we get a nod that Alvarez starts, Solanke to Alvarez could be really good. I see that spot as a potential upside move that you could make. Good morning, Ross. Do I start Isak or Maniz this game week? I'd start Isak. Isak's in a really nice run of form. He's playing at home. We know he's much better at home as well. Edward says, I have 2 free transfers and could sell Bradley, Richarlison or Darwin with 0.3 in the bank. Free hit next week, but considering bench boost 35. I would love to keep Richarlison, but I don't know anymore. I'd sell Richarlison. I know what you're saying. Although, if you'd like to bench boost 35, sell Bradley. I think you kind of almost need to commit now to either trying to bench boost. You don't have to commit to actually doing it. But if you are desperately trying to bench boost, I would sell Bradley and Darwin this week. If you're a bit unsure about it, maybe just sell like Richarlison and Darwin. And then like you've still got the option, I suppose. Because Richarlison could be really nice for 35. I'm just still not sure if he's even going to be fit. And if he is fit, how do we know that he starts? We just don't. Maybe he'll start one of them. Hey, Ross, would you play Zabani or Branthwaite? I'd play Branthwaite. I think if one of those teams is less likely to score, it's probably Chelsea. Darwin to Wissa. Pedro in order to get 15 for 37 bench boost. Yeah, Darwin to Pedro. Looks good to me. Wissa doesn't double in 37, by the way. So that wouldn't give you 37. That wouldn't give you a 15 doublers for a bench boost. So yeah, Darwin to João Pedro is nice. It's a move that I'm very likely to make this week. Steven says, defender for less than 6.3 million. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. I have you Doggy, Bradley, Gusto, Ryan, 8 Nuri. I think you've got 2 options. A Newcastle defender. And to be honest, if you've got the money, Fabian Schär's probably slightly better than Dan Burn. If you don't want to go for a Newcastle defender, Van Heck is probably the one. You could even go for Porro if you've got a third Spurs spot, actually. I know you've got you Doggy already. I think I'd probably go for Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, or Van Heck, Stephen. Out of Onana, Petrovic, Gusto, Bradley, Gabriel, Van Heck. Who should I bench out of those options? Out of Onana and Petrovic, I'd bench Onana and I'd start Petrovic. Gusto, Bradley, Gabriel, Van Heck, I would bench. If you've got to bench one of them, probably Van Heck. And then out of your attackers, I'd probably bench Garnacho. Assuming that you need to bench 1 or 3 of those players, that's the way I would go. Best goalkeeper and striker to buy. No chips left. Max 8.2. Best goalkeeper to buy would probably be no chips left. Pickford. If you've got no chips left, I'd go Pickford. Best striker to buy with no chips left. Probably Isak. Isak and Pickford would be my 2 options there. Think I should start 8 Nuri over Contra or Zabani. Yeah, I'd start 8 Nuri over both of those quite comfortably. Darwin and Lascelles to Pedro and Trippier. Yeah, I actually quite like that, Jordan. But Trippier obviously won't play for you this week. But hopefully he'll be back for 35. Whisper says, same team and strategy as you. Raya to Onana and Saka to Foden this week. Okay. Bradley to Burn in 35. Yep. 8 Nuri to Ake in 36 and Darwin to Pedro in 37. What are your thoughts? Love that. It's the same transfers that I'm planning on making. You're just doing it in a different order. I just like the idea of getting João Pedro for this Burnley fixture, and I don't really want to sell Raya yet. So I'm doing it in a slightly different order to you, but I understand why you'd want to do it in the order you're doing it. Nick says, bench 1 of Havertz, Darwin, Solanke. Cheers. I'd probably bench Solanke. Van Dijk, Havertz, or Saliba, Diaz. Wildcard 35 defender in this game week. I think I prefer Saliba and Diaz as an option. Why is everyone so keen on João Pedro? He's cheap, he's on penalties, good data, and he doubles in 37. And he's got a good fixture this week. I don't think everyone's so keen on João Pedro, by the way. I've barely seen anyone bring him in. But I know a few people are obviously mentioning him. What goalie to replace Kelleher? I have Petrovic. Depends if you need a goalkeeper in 34. If you need a goalkeeper in 34, Pickford, Henderson, or Raya. If you don't, then you're looking at someone that doubles in 37. I'd go for Onana. 2 free transfers, free hit 34, bench boost 37. Get rid of 2 of Lascelles, Bradley, and Darwin 4. I'd get rid of Lascelles and Darwin for João Pedro and Burn. There you go. João Pedro hasn't had a return in 10 game weeks. Right. Has he even started How many of those 10 has he started? Before you start spitting this propaganda against João Pedro. João Pedro hasn't had a return in the last 10 game weeks. Are we... He hasn't started in all of the... Wait, he has in the last 10. He had a return here. But he's not started. He played in any of these. Here. Look, what is this weird propaganda we're spreading? Against Brentford, really good data. Against Crystal Palace, really good data. In fact, against Luton, interestingly, he didn't. But he's just got really solid data. I mean, to put up 2.25 XG in a game. XGI, I should say. I mean, his data is just excellent, João Pedro, when he plays. We've seen that all season long. So I'm keen to get him in. But I understand he's not for everyone. I didn't know that was his full name, by the way. There we go. You learn something new every day. I'm tempted to go... I want to check this out, right? Let me just finish off what I was doing, and then I'm going to check out my own team very briefly, which is, I know it's a little bit selfish, but I need to also make some good decisions myself. Start Solanke or Garnacho. I did Udogie to Dallo, as I have 2 free transfers. Thoughts on that? I don't mind Udogie to Dallo. Start Solanke or Garnacho. I think I'd go Solanke for the pens. Right. What I want to do quickly, chat, and then I'll get back to answering your questions, is I want to see how much my plan is affected if I go for Saka to Foden this week. If we get confirmation Foden starts. If we don't get that confirmation, maybe I won't. Right, so let's say this week instead, I go Saka to Foden and Darwin to JP. This has potential to go, when I say horribly wrong, horribly wrong. Right, selling Darwin and Saka both at home this week could go really badly. But anyway, let's say I make those moves. Then next week, free hit, 35. Bear with me, chat. Sorry here. 35. I would probably roll. Yeah, in fact, I would roll, right? Because I've got 8 near against Luton. Actually, that team looks... I mean, that team is beautiful. Isn't that a lovely team? Game week rating 93%. Get in the bin. That's a great team. I'm very happy with that. So I wouldn't need to make a transfer. I've got 3.8 in the bank. Then in 36, I would need to make a transfer. And it'd probably be Bradders out for... I might even go... I probably would go Kieran Trippier here, you know? So Kieran Trippier here. I've still got Raya in goal, which is nice. I've still got some Arsenal defensive cover. And then maybe I would just leave it there. Just the one transfer in 36. So let me make that. So then going into 37... I should go to the one game week. It makes it a lot easier to look at. Going into game week 37, I'd have 2 free transfers. And I'd probably be looking at Raya out for Onana. Havana Unana. My beautiful singing. Havana Unana in. And then I would probably take out 8 Nuri. And at this stage, it might be for like a Gvardiol or something like that. Save plan, optimized team. That wouldn't be my actual bench boost. It would probably be that. What do we think about that as a plan, eh? Eh? Beautiful. Beautiful. I might go Saka to Foden this week if we get a leak that Foden starts them. I don't know. I hate selling Saka, man. Saka will just get like a penalty and an assist and come away with like 14 points. And I'm like, he didn't even do anything. Saka has so many games where I'm like, I watched that and I don't even know how he got 14 points. He just does this so often, and it's great when you own him. Like last week, I don't know how he got 10 points from that. He's on penalties, I suppose, and he takes set pieces. But anyway, and then in 38, I'd have 1 free transfer. Let me... hello? Optimized team. I'd react to any news that we get. But I'd maybe look at... Actually, I'd have him starting there. I'd maybe be looking at potentially... like a fun punt in that Garnacho spot for someone on the final day. Or maybe I'd be looking at doing Foden to Saka if Foden looks like won't be starting and Saka is. But I've got lots of options. But anyway, the team would have 14 doublers in 37 with Salah on the bench boost. So there we go. Chris, you forgot to do Darwin to Chris Wood. Who's Chris? Am I Chris? I'm not doing Darwin to Chris Wood. I do love that everyone's on the Chris Wood hype train, though. Simon, I did that one. Saley says, bench 1 of 8 Nuri, Gabriel, Gusto, Bradley. My boyfriend loves you. And I love your boyfriend, Saley. Bench 1 of 8 Nuri, Gabriel, Gusto, Bradley. I would bench probably 8 Nuri, just because the other 3, I think, are more likely to start. I think 8 Nuri's a bit of a doubt, and he could maybe start on the bench or something. How confident are you on João Pedro starting this week with Welbeck there? This week, I'm like 80% sure that João Pedro starts. That I could be completely wrong. You never know with De Zerbi. Beyond that, I'm not sure. But the thing is, I don't need to start João Pedro every week. I only need to start him in 33 and 37. So hopefully he starts this week, then I don't need him until 37 again. Why wouldn't you do Gvardiol in this week for the Luton fixture? Because I'm really happy with my defence, actually. I really don't know about selling Saka, man. It feels awful, but I think that's just a fear thing. 2 free transfers with 7 doubles for 34. Son to Diaz and Prey, or burn the transfer, or Areola to Kelleher. I don't love Areola to Kelleher, because Kelleher's not going to start in 34. If literally the only move you can make is Son to Diaz, I'm sure there is a better move you can probably make. But if that's the only one, I'd still do that rather than burn a transfer. Aside from you being a Man United fan, the content is great and please do keep it up. Fair enough, Omri. Chasing mini leagues and not ranked. So start Raya or Flecken. I have Brereton Diaz. Do I start him over Saka versus Brentford? Much appreciated. I'd still start Saka ahead of Brereton Diaz, in all honesty. If you're chasing mini leagues, maybe go Flecken. Maybe do go Flecken. I obviously wouldn't start Flecken and Brereton Diaz, because then you're not going to get points for both. So back it. If you think Sheffield United score, maybe start Raya and Brereton Diaz. If you think that Sheffield United won't score, then just start Flecken and probably go for Saka. Does that make sense? That's the way I would go, Omri. You think Akanji starts? Yeah, I do think Akanji starts. Foden to Hwang. Foden or Hwang to Sheffield Diaz. Sheffield Diaz. Brereton Diaz. Or Sarabia. I still think Sarabia. Hwang to Sarabia is fine. But if Hwang starts this... He won't start this week. If he starts... I guess we're probably not expecting him to start both in the double, are we? Do you think Doku will start? Yeah. Foden's not starting. Potentially not. I mean, hopefully we get some leaks. Let me send a message. Right. Sorry, just slamming my keyboard. You can just hear me twatting my keyboard. Doku starting is so bad for Haaland. Yeah, that is true. Also, I mean, I don't know that Doku starts. Could be Foden on the left. To be fair, I think if Doku... Do you know what I think we could see? I think we could see Doku on the right, Foden on the left. Maybe. And I don't think Doku... I think the reason that Doku's bad for Haaland is because when Doku starts on the left, he just cuts in and shoots. So it might not be as bad as we think. Do we think Alisson starts? I think Kelleher might get one more game. And I mean, Alisson could definitely start, but I think Kelleher could get one more game. But it might not be worth the risk. If you've got Kelleher, maybe he's a decent transfer out. I think Oscar Bob will start. Yeah, maybe Bob will start, to be fair. Bob is really good, by the way. Fantastic name as well, Bob. MN Chuckster says, hi, how many doublers do you think is okay for 34? With my current strategy, I'd have to go -12 next week to field 11 doublers. Not sure it's worth it. Would have Foden and Haaland as non-doublers. Have a great game week. Honestly, mate, just have Haaland and Foden. There is a genuine chance that Haaland and Foden outscore the likes of Eze, Cunha. Just because someone's got 2 games doesn't mean they'll return in those 2. So I don't think I would be taking massive -12 hits to just field 11 for the sake of it. I think if you can get there for free, then definitely. That's why on a free hit I'll have 11 doublers. But I honestly think, especially Haaland, just keep him. Maybe you take a hit for Foden to someone else, but I wouldn't be too worried. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Gabriel/8 Nuri. Sell 1, start 1. Sell 8 Nuri, start Gabriel. Is Cunha a better option than João Pedro? If you're not free hitting in 34, yes. If you are free hitting in 34, I prefer João Pedro. Start Porro or Garnacho. Love the content. Thank you very much. I would start Garnacho. Always back the attacker. Even though Porro is basically an attacker anyway. Right, chat. We've got less than 50 minutes until the deadline. Little bit concerning that I've still no idea which moves I'm making. I think one move that I'm definitely making, as of right now, is Darwin to João Pedro. I just like it a lot as a move. And if Darwin hauls, Darwin hauls. I'm kind of accepting that I'm selling Darwin and it could go absolutely massive. So after that, so Darwin to João Pedro, let's say we do that. I think I've got 2 options. It's either 8 Nuri to Dan Burn to set me well up for 35 onwards, or Saka to Foden. Saka to Foden's got the better upside, but also obviously the greater chance of it going wrong. Because if I do 8 Nuri to Dan Burn, that's not going to go wrong this week because I was benching 8 Nuri anyway. No, we don't have any City team leaks yet. I don't know if we're going to, but if we do, I'll obviously share it with you. I don't think the City accounts normally like sharing the news like 4 hours before kickoff. 5 hours before kickoff. Lazy FPL might get something. Let me DM Lazy FPL and just say see if they'll get anything. Right. 8 Nuri to Trippier and Maniz to Pedro. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. I quite like that, yeah, but obviously Trippier's not going to be available for this week. But longer term, as long as he is back and How's not lying, then yeah. Raptor using his inside connections. I'll try. Yeah, so I've DM'd Lazy FPL. And I'll see whether they'll get anything. I don't know if FPL Main Road's going to tweet today. I don't think he normally goes that early. Tony would. Right? If Tony gets news, I think Tony would go early. But again, I don't know how likely he is to get it to get it this early. We'll see. We've still got 45 minutes. Only the bench boost left. Doughty to Burn, or do I sell... Only bench boost left. Doughty to Burn, or do I sell Son and Porro for a bench boost 34 instead and bring Son back the week after? I'm not going to lie, Bricko. If your team is in a position where you can bench boost 34, get it done. So yeah, I'd be happy doing that. But only if your team is actually... Don't bench boost 34 if it's just for the sake of it and your bench isn't actually that strong. Hey, Ross, what are your transfers? No idea. Darwin to João Pedro is very likely to happen for me. And then the other move is either Saka to Foden, 8 Nuri to Burn. I suppose I could do Raya to Onana as well, but I think I want to keep David Raya now. Is Cunha now fully fit? Yeah, I believe... I would be very surprised if Cunha doesn't start, unless there's something that we just don't know about behind the scenes. But I think Cunha should start this one. Will Haaland start? I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. So just having a little scroll, making sure I haven't missed anything over on Twitter about team leaks. And I'll keep checking my DMs as well. Why Darwin out? Because I'm free hitting in 34, so I don't need Darwin for 34. By the way, at the moment, on my latest free hit draft for Game Week 34, I don't have Darwin. Believe it or not. I just don't think he's been particularly great recently, and I think Jota will get in ahead of him in one of the games, at least. I think he'll start this week, by the way. I don't think Darwin misses this, but I don't think Darwin starts both in 34. And if he doesn't start both, is there the potential to go elsewhere? But Darwin's really good off the bench. This is my concern, right? When Darwin comes off the bench, he's pretty good. So maybe I do just go for him still. Hey, Ross, would you do Saka and Darwin to Haaland and Garnacho for a -4 if we find out Haaland starts? Yeah, on your strategy, I don't mind that because you don't have Haaland and you want to get him in. And Garnacho is a really good long-term option for you. So yeah, Mason, I would be. But again, you're selling Saka and Darwin. I might be selling Saka and Darwin as well. But just be aware that that could go horribly wrong, right? Has the potential to really backfire. Which defenders are you replacing and who? At the moment, no one. If I do, it'll be 8 Nuri to Danburn. 2 free transfers, free hit 34, bench boost 37. Kelleher to Dubravka and Gabriel to Lewis. What are your thoughts? Dubravka, I don't think will be available for 37 because I think Pope will be back by then. If Pope's not back by then, he's great. Lewis isn't a good pick. He's great for this week. I really do expect Rico Lewis to start this week. But from 35 onwards, I don't think he does. Others could be Darwin to Alvarez and Kelleher to Onana. Alvarez is another one that I don't think starts every week. I think Alvarez will start this week, but from 35 onwards, and especially if Man City do lose to Real Madrid, like what are they resting their players for? So I love Alvarez and Lewis, but I think they're both short-term picks in all honesty. Kelleher to Onana I like as a pick longer term. Is it worth a -4 even if we have no leaks about Haaland? I just think Haaland will start. I'd be pretty happy to predict that. I really can't see a world in which Haaland's benched again. You're giving up on Darren Noodles. I am. Darwin Nunez is gone, I think, anyway. Maybe I'll have a change of heart in the next 40 minutes, but I don't think so. By the way, if you're one of the 6,200 people watching right now and you have not yet liked the video, please like the video. And if you've not yet subscribed, please do subscribe as well. I would really appreciate it. We've only had 80 people subscribe in this stream. I guarantee there are more than 80 of you that are watching right now that aren't subscribed. So please do consider subscribing. Rate the City defenders in order of preference. Gvardiol, Akanji, Diaz, Stones, Lewis. For this week, Lewis would be like at the top, but like assuming that you need them long term, I think it's Gvardiol, Akanji, Diaz for me. Akanji seems very nailed on. Although I suppose once Walker's back, Akanji's nowhere near as nailed. Luton's defense is a mess, is it, in the moment? Like the amount, not actual like their players, but the amount of injuries that they've got. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Giving me your team. 2 free transfers. Darwin and Gabriel to João Pedro and Van Heck. Darwin and Gabriel to Højlund and Van Heck. And Darwin and Sarabia to João Pedro and Richarlison. I probably prefer the first option there, Yanis. Darwin and Gabriel to João Pedro and Van Heck. But I also do quite like Darwin and Sarabia to João Pedro and Richarlison, assuming Richarlison's back for 35. And it does mean that you can keep Gabriel. So maybe the right move there is João Pedro and Richarlison, potentially. Yeah, maybe that's the best move for you. Gabriel to burn to not burn a transfer. Get burn to not burn. I do think getting burn rather than burning is probably the good thing because you don't want to burn when you can just get burn instead. Do you know what I mean? Burn. I'm so lost on what transfers to do. Me too. Me too. Do you think Bradley will start? My thought process was, right, 2 things. Why didn't Bradley play if they knew they were going to just start Trent this weekend? You just start Bradley, right? Because you don't need Bradley to be fit and available for this weekend. Secondly, Klopp said after the game that Trent was nowhere near being able to get minutes. He said he just wasn't close, but they had 23 spots or something, so they might as well take him on the bench. So it didn't even look like against Atalanta that Trent was close to being able to get minutes. And if that's the case, I don't think Trent suddenly starts this game. My concern would be that I think there's a very good chance that Trent comes off the bench in this game. I just hope that's not before 60 minutes, because I don't want Bradley to get like 57 minutes and then come off. That would be painful. I actually think Bradley coming off early, though, is a good thing. Because if the clean sheet's still there at like 65, Bradley comes off and then Liverpool concede, that's great for me. So an early sub isn't a bad thing. You need it to be obviously post 60 minutes. Free hit 34, wildcard 35, 2 free transfers, 2 1-week punts. I have Tony, room for a 5.7 forward like Wissa, 6.4 million mid like Gordon, Brennan Johnson, a £5 million defender like Reguilon, Lewis, 8 Nuri. I think I would go either Mbeumo. No, Mbeumo's more than 6.4, isn't he? I'd probably go for João Pedro. Playing against Burnley on penalties, if he starts. I'd be tempted by João Pedro. If not João Pedro, then I think Rico Lewis could be a really nice punt, yeah. Or Reguilon. I'm not sure I love any of those midfield options. Okay, lazy FPL are trying. Absolute legends. They're very, very reliable. They've got it right every single time. I think there was one time that everyone was like, oh my God, they got it wrong. And it was like the team news changed just before the game. I think it was like Grealish was ill or something like that. But anyway, they've been right every time. So if Lazy FPL can confirm for us, that's good. They've just told me that they're trying. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If we don't get anything, then I'm probably not fully comfortable making the Saka... Or do I just do it? Do I just do it? Is it worth the risk of going for Foden if we don't get confirmation he starts? I could just do it. You know, just do it. Lazy FPL isn't so lazy. I know. Maybe they need to change their name, because they are not being lazy right now. Start one of Mateta, Hwang, Zabarnyi. Mateta. Any 8 Nuri injury news? No, only what we heard yesterday. Just do it. Just do it. Oh, yeah. Tell me to do it. Tell me to do it. Got an itchy egg. Itchy egg. Ah. Whatever you do, don't get an itchy egg. Was that your belly? Probably, yeah. My belly is rumbling loud. I don't know if that... I also made this noise like that, but my belly is also rumbling. So maybe you heard my belly. Should I ask the will? Quick consult the will. Quick consult of the will. Just a really brief consultation of the will. Should I sell Saka for Foden? Interesting. Should we do another spin just to double check that that's what the will wants? Should I sell Saka for Foden? Let's spin the wheel one more time. I think the wheel is telling me something. The wheel is telling me something. Action bias. Sure, I read that somewhere. This is true. This is true. Darwin, Darwin Nunes. Darwin, Darwin. I really don't want to sell Darwin, but I also think it's going to have to happen. But me and Darwin have been through a lot together. A lot. Anyway, let me get back to these questions. Kesh Studios says, Solanke, Tony, Maniz, Foden, Son, Salah, Palmer. This is my attacking half. Is Haaland a necessity this week? Yes. Yeah, I do think he is. João Pedro Zabani on the bench. Thoughts on KDB and for João Pedro instead of taking a hit for Haaland? No, I'd take a hit for Haaland. Get Maniz out. Bring in Haaland, and however you have to fund that, fund it. I guess actually you probably can't do the Maniz move. Maybe it's Solanke that has to go for you instead. I just think Haaland's very good. I think he's been unlucky not to get more returns. I'm not subscribed. What, to me? Rude. Why not start 8 Nuri? I like my back 3 as it is. No. Someone just asked me, is leaked underscore FPL accurate? No, I've blocked them. I then unblocked them and reblocked them because they kept getting it wrong and they just delete the stuff that they get wrong. So no, leaked FPL over on Twitter is not accurate. I'm not saying what they've tweeted isn't right because they can guess correctly every now and again, but it's not an accurate account. If I get any accurate team news or we get any accurate team news, then I will just tell you straight, right? So if I don't say anything, it's because the accounts that are tweeting it, I'm not fully believing them. Ross, Isak to Haaland for a -4. I don't love selling Isak. Is there someone else you can sell instead? If not, then yeah, maybe. 2 free transfers. Darwin to JP and Maniz to Isak. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, go for it. Good move. Free hit 34, bench boost 37, 0.1 in the bank. Saka to Foden and Lascelles to Maguire, or Saka to Gordon and Lascelles to Cher or Trippier. I like Saka to Foden and Lascelles to someone better than Maguire, like a Van Heck or a Branthwaite. I don't love Maguire as an option. I think I would go Saka to Foden, Lascelles to Van Heck or Branthwaite or Gusto, whichever one you don't own of those players. Support all the way from Mumbai, India. Are we activating the free hit post deadline right away and getting the players in before price rises? No, because every free hit draft that I've built has like 10 million in the bank. So I don't think there's as much value this week in it. I might activate the free hit straight away, but I'm not going to be focusing on price rises. The only reason you'd need to do that is if you're having like Haaland, even if you have Haaland and Salah, because you've got no Son, I just don't think you're going to struggle that much for money, most people. And you can always just go cheaper on the bench if you are. So no, I probably won't be activating the free hit straight away and like worrying about price changes, particularly. Two free transfers, no chips. Who should I get in for Estepinian? Two free transfers, no chips. Who should I... Well, I don't know what your strategy is, but I think Estepinian starts this week, so I'll just start Estepinian. That's the truth. Same midfield as you, except Havertz instead of Garnacho. Two free transfers. Would you get Foden this week if there's news he starts? Not if you've got no chips left. I'd probably leave it as is. The only reason I'm doing it is because I can then free hit in 34, and I obviously want Saka beyond that. Because like Foden beyond that. You wouldn't want to sell Havertz now because Game Week 34 is coming up. Two free transfers. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Darwin and Camera. Why are we going twice already? Sorry. Two free transfers. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Darwin and Maniz to Isak and João Pedro. You love that, Jack. I think a lot of people are making that double move, and I'm a big fan of it. Hi, Raptor. Would you prefer Jackson or João Pedro? In isolation, maybe Jackson. But Jackson's also on 9 yellows. He's also more expensive. And he also takes up a third Chelsea spot when I think Gusto and Petrovic for the time being are fine. So in isolation, not including money, triple ups, anything else, maybe slightly Jackson. Callum Allen says, Son and Kilman to Diaz and Van Dijk. Wildcard 35, bench boost 37. Have exactly the money for this. Yeah, if you've got exactly the money for that, assuming it's for free, Callum, then I would do it, yeah. Best defenders for this week and bench boost 34. Probably Tarkovsky, Mikalenko, 8 Nuri, Dawson. Obviously Arsenal and Liverpool as well. Nope, camera still doesn't want to work. Having a right fit today, aren't you? I think Garnacho hauls this week. I hope you are wrong, because he's going to be sat on my bench. So I hope you are not correct. Right, let me try and get this camera back on. This Audi setup. It's not an Audi setup. It's a... My camera's a good camera. It just decides to freeze from time to time, you know? That's not FPL Tony on Twitter. Do you know who that is, chat? And I feel like at this point, if you've been in my streams before, you should just know that FPL Boona... Oh, he's actually changing his name this time. Interesting. What's he changed his name to this time, then? He's probably changed it to, like, Tony with, like, an I or something. Or, like, a 1, I should say. Or like an L. Is it like that? I'm trying to work out what he's changed his name to so that he's tricking people. But it will be FPL Boona. I don't know what he's changed his name to this time. Because I've muted and blocked him, I think. Sadly. Sorry, Boona. Yeah, it's Boona at it again. Tony hasn't tweeted anything yet. If Tony tweets something, I'll let you know. It's not Tony. It's still not Tony. Believe it or not, it's still not him. Just block Boona. You know? That's the simple answer to it all. Oh. Right, I think I'm going to make one move, chat. And I think I'm going to do Darwin to João Pedro now, and then I'll decide about that second transfer. Is it 8 Nuri to Burn, or is it Saka to Foden? If we don't get a leak, I'll probably just do 8 Nuri to Burn. If we do get a leak, I'll probably go Saka to Foden. Foden to Havertz anyway, if no news. No. I wouldn't sell Foden. Start Virgil or 8 Nuri. Virgil. Best defenders. Oh, did that one. Thoughts on, please, on Maddison and Darwin to Mbermo and Isak. Will free hit next week and bench boost 37. I don't love selling Maddison, but I do like Isak as an option. Can you not just do Darwin to Isak? Why do you have to do the Maddison to Mbermo move? I guess if you've got 2 free transfers. I don't hate that cookie, but I just prefer the Darwin to Isak move if you're only going to make one of them. On free hit 34, no bench boost. If Foden doesn't start, Foden to Gordon, Game Week 35 Maniz to Werner, or Lascelles to Gvardiol, Game Week 35 Saka to Gordon. Thanks, Ross. I like Foden to Gordon if Foden doesn't start. But I think he will. Morris to João Pedro Wissa, or Moreno to Gvardiol, or other. I like Morris to João Pedro as an option. But if you have to start Moreno, then maybe a Moreno to Gvardiol. Maybe we won't get leaks today. Right, let me make this one move before I bottle it because I love Darwin. Why Pedro over Haaland? He gives me money to bring in someone like a Kieran Trippier or a KDB in the future if I want to. He is on penalties and he's got better data. Haaland's data is really worrying. I mean, as a United fan, I hope he turns it around. This is his data across the last 3. 0.08 XGI, 0.14, 0.05. Before that, he went on a run of having much better data. But since coming back from injury, he's been a little bit naff. But so have Man United. So maybe if Man United pick it up, he'll pick it up as well. But I like the money that João Pedro offers. So, yeah. Move number 1. JP. Done. Oh, I can't believe I sold Darwin. My heart. Oh, my heart. We've been through a lot, me and Darwin together. But I think now is time. Because otherwise I'm just going to end up keeping him all season, aren't I? And he just doesn't. It's just not it. It's just not it. No Man City early team news yet. No Man City early team news yet. Sadly. But we might get some in the next 20, 25 minutes. Same team as you, Foden, except Foden, Gabriel, and Dubravka instead of Saka, Van Heck, and Raya. 1 transfer and 0.1 in the bank. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. No clue who to start and transfer. I'll leave the starting decisions up to you. I think if you've got exactly the same team as me, then 8 Nuri out is probably the one that makes sense for the future, or Bradley out. 8 Nuri or Bradley. You sell one of those two with your free transfer. Nuri to burn gives you a good defense in game week 36. It does, but I could do Nuri to burn in 36, or I could do Nuri to Kieran Trippier in 36. I don't need to sell 8 Nuri now. I could do it in 36, but I do agree. I would like a Newcastle defender. Saliba to Van Dijk for free or roll? I'd roll. Already got Alvarez. Gabriel to Robertson for -4. No. Free hit 34. 8 Nuri to you, Doggy, or Darwin to Pedro for now. I like Darwin to João Pedro, hence why I've just done it. But I think 8 Nuri to you, Doggy, is also a really nice transfer that sets you up well for the future. Start Foden and Havertz. Foden and Darwin, or Havertz and Darwin, mate. I'd start Foden and Darwin and bench Havertz. Just. Don't know about that. Yeah. Maybe we aren't going to get any leaks. Maybe we aren't going to get any leaks. Sorry, I know I just went really quiet. I'm just having a look. See if I can find anything. Oh, chat, I'm really to and fro in here. Don't know. I really don't know. Hey, mate, bench one of Palmer, Gordon, Salah. Okay, give me all your attackers. I was thinking either Gordon or Darwin. I'd bench Gordon there, yeah. Dan. Yeah, I think it's Gordon or Salah. Maybe it is Darwin. I'd probably bench Gordon out of those options, yeah. Alex, I have a very similar team to you. Okay, I did that one, sorry. Repeating the same ones. Free hit 34. Diaz, Gvardiol, Burn, or Fabian Schär for Bradley. I think Burns probably. Schär, if you've got the money, Fabian Schär's probably the best. Dan Burns like the safest and cheapest, so I'd probably go there. Do you think Ortega starts? I think Edison will get the nod in this game. Imagine not blocking Booner. I know, I've muted him because I actually like Booner in real life and I feel bad blocking him, but... Start Foden and gamble he'll start, and bench Garnacho or start the latter. I'd start Foden and gamble he starts. You can't bench Foden unless we get a leak he's benched. He's playing against Luton, for goodness. If he starts and you've benched him, that's going to be ultimate pain. What transfers is Mrs. Raptor making? I think she's not with me today. She's at home, but I think she's doing Kelleher to Onana and Darwin to João Pedro to fund that. She wants to get Onana in and she doesn't want Kelleher and she doesn't want to start Petrovic, I don't think so. Why did you take Darwin out? Because I'm free hit 34. If Foden isn't starting, what are your free transfer thoughts? If Foden isn't starting, I'll do 8 Nuri to burn. Don't want to burst your bubble, but Foden is the 3rd most transferred out this week. Oh, I like that. That makes me happy. That makes me excited because it means loads of people have sold him. If I bring him in, of course. Foden starts. Hey, has Lazy FPL gone and got it? No way. I'll make the move if they have. Lazy FPL. Foden and Haaland start for Man City. They delivered. Chat, I told you. Everyone was yapping. Foden can't start. Foden's going to be benched every Premier League game for the rest of his life. I'm going to get Foden for Saka. Well done, Lazy FPL. What legends. What legends for delivering that to us. There we go. There we go. I have a lot of told you so's. I have a lot of told you so's. Do you know what the most passive aggressive thing you can do is retweet your tweet from yesterday? There we go. Okay. Panic. Saka to Foden then. It makes sense. Okay, now hear me out. Captain Foden. Who said that? I didn't say that. Did you hear someone? Wait, listen, you can hear something. Captain Foden. Can you hear someone saying something? Because I'm pretty sure I can hear someone say Captain Foden. You can hear that in the background, can't you? Maddison or Saka to Foden, free hit 34. My brain's gone. Maddison or Saka to Foden? Maddison to no, Saka. If you're free hit 34, Saka to Foden makes sense, I think. I'm not saying it can't go wrong, but... Hello from California. Should I use my 1 free transfer to move 8 Nuri or wait till next week with 2 free transfers? Wait till next week and make sure you get to sleep, Gareth. But yeah, I don't feel like you've got much value in moving this week. I'd just make the move next week. If you have just joined, almost 10,000 people watching right now, the latest news that we have is that Foden and Haaland start. Okay? Confirmation from Lazy FPL. They're absolute legends. They've got us the confirmation. So Foden and Haaland start. So if you are looking to captain Haaland, feel comfortable doing so. If you were looking to bring in Foden, feel comfortable doing so. If you were looking to buy Foden, maybe do so. We'll see. Raya, okay, you give me your entire team, Ben. By the way, calm down on the super chats. I said this last week, but I need to make my moves, also answer everyone else's questions, so I can't confirm if you'll get your super chat answered this late. So do it at your own risk. Give me your entire team. Said 1 free transfer, 1.1 million in the bank. Bench boost 34. What are your thoughts? Okay, bench boost 34. So what do you need to do with this team then? Oh my lord. That's a banging team. Roll the transfer. Roll the transfer. Roll the transfer and make the decision next week. Here's what I'd do, Ben. Because then you'll have 2 free transfers to really make that bench boost good. No Man City. Would you take a -4 for Haaland? Yes. Son to Foden on non-free hit 34. No. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, no. I don't think so anyway. Eight Nuri, Garnacho or Mikalenko to start. Since Foden starts, who should I transfer if doing bench boost 34? Same midfield as you, but Sarabia instead of Son. I would start out of those options Garnacho. And then probably leave it as is and roll the transfer if you can, Martin. Yeah, you can't sell Foden now. So I'd probably leave it. I don't think... Unless you want to sell... If you're wildcarding 35, then maybe you can sell Palmer. I'd need to see your entire team, Martin, unfortunately. But out of those options, I'd much rather start Garnacho. I'd start the attacker. Kay says, if KDB starts, I can afford him. Better than Foden. If we get confirmation that he starts, he's a good option. Do I think he's better than Foden? Not necessarily. I don't know what FPL Pickle's doing. Let me question. Let me message her. What are you doing now, Pickle? Let's see what old FPL Pickle's doing. Chat, do we think Saka to Foden makes a lot of sense in my position now then? Do we think this makes sense? Or do you think I should do the 8 Nuri to burn move instead? Feels a bit passive, 8 Nuri to burn, but it does set my defense up. Yeah, if you've just joined, let me pin it in the chat. Haaland and Foden both start. Should I do a quick poll? Oh my god, chat, will you stop moving so quickly? How can I pin a message? Oh my god, I actually can't do it. This chat is mental. Right, pin. Thank god. Right, let me run a quick poll. Panic. Panic. Chat, panic. We're in panic station mode. Let's start a poll. Okay, FPL Pickle is doing the same as before. So she's not buying Foden. She's doing Onana and JP in. Would you sell Saka for Foden in my position? Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Bang. I'll do whatever you tell me to do, chat. I'll do whatever you tell me to do, okay? So vote yes or no. I don't actually know which way this poll is going to go. I'm assuming your guys will tell me to do it, but we'll see which way the poll goes. Oh, 74% of you are saying do it. Did someone say FPL Tony's tweeted now? Let me have a look. FPL Tony. Okay, so FPL Tony confirms that Foden and Haaland are starting, and also that Rico Lewis is starting as well. Okay, so Rico Lewis starts if you want to take... If you're on a 1 week punt, probably the best defender. Main Road tweeted. What did Main Road tweet? Haaland, Foden, and Gvardiol. So Gvardiol starts as well. Okay, so chat. The leaks that we've got, Haaland, Foden, Lewis, and Gvardiol all start. So if you've got Gvardiol, you can start him. I'm going to make this move now, I think. Just get it done. So that I can focus on answering your questions, I think. Oh, I hate that. I think I'm going to regret that. But let's do it. Let's do it. It also gives me 8 Nuri for Game Week 35, which I quite like. So that's going to be the team. This means I'm now no longer bench boost 35 isn't an option for me based on the transfers that I've made. So bench boost 37 locked in with this. Let me quickly screenshot my team so that I have it ready to tweet in a bit. I mean, those are spicy moves. Darwin and Saka out for Foden and João Pedro. There's no way that could go wrong, right, chat? There's no way that selling Saka and Darwin could go wrong. If you've just joined and you've never seen my streams before, welcome. Make sure to subscribe. But I'm free hit 34. So I know my transfers probably seem bonkers selling those two, but it makes sense because I don't need them for next week. Oh my God, if Saka hauls, I'm going to sob. Right, chat, less than 10 minutes left till the deadline. If you have just joined, the team news that we currently have, Foden starts, Haaland starts, Gvardiol starts, Rico Lewis starts. Those 4 players are all starting. So if you were looking to bring in or start Foden, you're fine doing so. If you want to captain Haaland, do it. I was debating benching Darwin or Saka for Gordon. Now you've sold them. There's no hope I bench them. Yeah, you probably shouldn't bench them now. Convince me to start Bradley instead of 8 Nuri. He's playing at home. That's pretty much it. I also think Liverpool are a better defence than the Wolves. Foden probably only gets 45 minutes. Fair enough. I hope he smashes it in those 45 minutes. Hope those 45 are very exciting for Foden. Should I start Ryan 8 Nuri? Who are you starting instead, Pickle? So you've got Gusto, Van Heck. So you've got Gabriel and Gusto. Chat, if you were FPL Pickle, let us know in the chat. My girlfriend's got a question. You need to bench one of Gusto, Van Heck, Gabriel, and 8 Nuri. Who would you bench? By my logic, do I start 8 Nuri instead of Van Heck? I don't know why I've not even considered that. Why am I starting Van Heck instead of 8 Nuri? Should I bench Van Heck? Why have I not considered this? I'm not benching Gusto. I love Gusto. He owes me some attacking returns. I need to bench Van Heck or 8 Nuri. I don't know why I haven't even thought about that. Yeah, should I make a last-minute change and start 8 Nuri? By the way, over 10,000 people watching live. That's the first time in a while we've had over 10,000. Welcome. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you've not before. I'm having a last-minute crisis. I've just brought... By the way, transfers. Darwin and Saka out. Foden and João Pedro in. If you've just joined, the latest news that we have is that Foden, Haaland, Gvardiol and Lewis start. I'm having a last-minute crisis about whether I should start 8 Nuri or Van Heck. Quick poll. Flash poll. Flash poll. We're doing lots of flash polls. I really want to captain Foden, but I'm not sure I should go against the majority of managers captaining Haaland. It depends how you want to play the game, Sophie. I really like Foden captain, but I think Haaland's minutes are more secure. Haaland's on penalties. I do think objectively Haaland's a better option. Who would you start in capital letters? 8 Nuri or Van... Oh my god, my screen's frozen. Van Heck. Maybe I just start 8 Nuri. I'm going to save that for now. How many minutes we got till the deadline? Okay, we've still got a little bit of time. We've got 7 minutes until the deadline. I'll leave it like that for now. Maybe I just worry that 8 Nuri is going to be on the bench. And even if he starts, my worry with 8 Nuri is he going to get to 60 mins or is he going to get like 55 minutes? Oh my god, chat. The site crashed. Fantasy Premier League has crashed. Oh dear. I'm trying to... Oh god, it's all happening now. Oh dear. Okay, it's back. It's back. It's back. That's funny. Make sure you get your teams locked in. The site is not having a good time. By the way, when the site isn't working, often the app does. So if you're having issues with the site, try the app. And vice versa. If the app's crashing for you, maybe try the website. Want to bring in Foden. I have the same midfield as you, but Sarabia instead of Son. Only 2.3 in the bank. Doing bench boost game week 34. Don't have a wild card. I don't think you can get Foden in them, really. Unless you want to do it for Palmer. Maybe. And then get Palmer back in the future. But I think you might just have to go without Martin. Harry says, Grealish to Foden, Lascelles to any defender. Which one, if any, for a -4? Grealish to Foden, I don't mind. Lascelles to any defender. Probably Dan Burn for the future. Saka to Havertz, Son to Foden. No free hit 34. I don't mind it, but I don't like the idea of selling Saka to Havertz when we think that Havertz might have potentially slightly lower minutes than in previous weeks. Just brought in Foden. Use my second free transfer for Lewis or Gvardiol. Or have 2 free transfers for next week. No free hit. I would just have 2 free transfers for next week. Would it be worth selling Saka for Foden for a -4? I don't know about for a -4. I probably wouldn't. I did it for free, but I don't think I'd take a hit for it. Foden for Saka or Darwin for João Pedro? I think I prefer doing Darwin to JP. That's why I made that move first, right? Right, I think I'm going to start 8 Nuri, which means Pickle, if you want my opinion, if I'm going to bench Van Heck. I hope that last-minute change doesn't hurt. But I do think 8 Nuri's got the attacking threat that Van Heck doesn't. And I think Burnley have been attacking fairly well recently. So I'm gonna go like that instead. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know why I didn't even think. I just had Van Heck in the starting 11, and I was just like, I'm just starting Van Heck. But it's a good point. It's a good point. Fake Raptor in the chat. In whose chat? In my chat. There's a fake Raptor in my chat. God, this is manic. Manic last-minute decisions. You've got less than 5 minutes, and the site is crashing quite a bit. So get your teams locked in. Also, my internet's having a bit of a mare. Edison and KDB start. Edison and KDB start. Let me show you. I love the way you preface that. Edison and KDB start. I tell you what, this City team could put like 15 past Luton. It's probably not going to go that way. So Foden, KDB, Edison, Haaland, Gvardiol, Lewis. We've got confirmation of 6 of the players. Nothing on Alvarez at the moment. Nothing on Doku, Grealish, Bernardo Silva. Obviously, only 2 of those will probably play. I think Rodri will probably be benched is the only slight issue. And City do struggle without a Rodri a little bit. But yeah, Edison and KDB both start as well. So to confirm, KDB starts, Foden starts, Haaland starts, Edison starts, Gvardiol starts, Lewis starts. They're the 6 that we have confirmation on at the moment. You got less than 2 minutes until the deadline. Make sure you lock your teams in. We've got some confirmation. I don't know if we'll get any more, but at least start locking your teams in and getting them in place. That's what we currently have as of right now. Let me go back to my team, though. I think that's probably better to have on the screen. Just brought in Foden. Should I? Oh, no, I did that one. Saka, Solanke, Foden, start 2. I'd start Foden and Saka and bench Solanke. Sell some for Foden. Probably wouldn't know. Saliba or 8 Nuri? Saliba. Arsenal defence are just a joke. Do we have any Spurs leaks? I've not actually seen anything. No, I keep forgetting that City aren't the early kickoff. I haven't seen anything. If City are leading 2-0 at half-time, they'll all be subbed off. Yeah, potentially. Could be. It's the risk that we're taking, though. If they're 2-0 up at half-time, hopefully my players are the 2 that have got goals. Less than 2 minutes until the deadline. The site is cutting in and out as well, so I would just make sure you lock your teams in. By all means, ask some more questions, but don't forget to save your team. Yeah, exactly. Someone did make the point. Goal difference is needed for Man City. They're lowest on goal difference. This is a good opportunity to go for goal difference. Gusto or 8 Nuri? Gusto, just about. What is the early team news? So with 1 minute left till the deadline, the early team news is that Haaland starts, Foden starts, KDB starts, which should mean some goals. We also know that Edison starts, Rico Lewis starts, and Gvardiol starts. Van der Ven or Robinson? I prefer Van der Ven. He's got the extra fixtures. Would you start Solanke or Garnacho? I'd normally try to start the penalty taker if possible, so I'd start Solanke. Going to be interesting with Foden versus Saka. That's the duel that's going to be the difference between green and red this week. I'm sure Foden will play 45, get 1 point, and Saka will get like 15, but it's worth the risk, I think. Yeah, City have gone pretty full strength today by the sounds of it, apart from maybe potentially Rodri might get a rest. Right, guys, I think by the time you hear my voice, the teams, you'll have to lock your teams in. Darwin to Tony. Probably not, no. Probably not, Cotton. And you're too late anyway. That is it. We are locked in. Dunzo. Jesus. That was mental. Don't leave, by the way. I'm going to carry on streaming for at least another half an hour or so. So, yeah, make sure you stick around. But if you are going to leave, make sure you subscribe as well on the way out. Oh, Jesus Christ, chat. That was mental. Mental. I can't remember what time my train is today. I need to be careful because I'm getting the train to go see Mrs. Raptor. My train is at just after 2. Okay, I've got plenty of time. Not plenty of time. Actually, wait. Oh, that train's a lot later than I thought. Oh, I'm fine. We'll just chill and chat for a bit. I haven't eaten today, though, so that's not great. Quite like to eat. Shazam with another big... Like, my man, you need to stop being so kind. Great stream as always, Ross. Was a hard week to make the right decision. Now the real stream begins. Now the real stream does begin. Thank you again for being so kind. I appreciate you more than you know. More than you know. I'll subscribe if you boycott McDonald's. Okay, done. Subscribe. Stormzy just sent this in the group chat. Look at that commitment from the main man, Storms. My man is committed. More than you believe. More than you believe. Oh, I love that when Pep says that. More than you believe. Right. And I need to tweet my team, don't I? And relax. People are going to hate that I sold Saka and Darwin, aren't they? Can already feel that coming. That's not going to go well. Oh, I think Storms is in like America at the moment. That's why he has to set those alarms. Right. Tweet my team out. Right. How much do I have in the bank now? I don't know how much I have in the bank. How much would I have in the bank if I made those moves? It's like points, 3.7. It's something like 4 mil, 4.1 mil in the bank or something I've got. Saka to Foden. Sorry, chat. Just tweeting. Don't mind me. Right. Add my team in. Bish bash bosh. I don't know how much money I have in the bank, Ross, after Shazam's amazing super Shaz. Facts. Shazam's going to single-handedly retire me after this. Okay. My bench... I could have bench boosted this week. That's a bench boost kind of team, isn't it? There we go. Done. Lovely team, FPL Pickle. Love to see it. Should we, Not reading that message out, Harris. FPL Challenge. I forgot FPL Challenge was a thing. Maybe. I've got my coffees here. I made 2 coffees for the stream. I was going to sip on these throughout the stream. I didn't expect it to be that manic. Let me sip on them now. I might be slurping down the mic. I do apologize. You have 3.8. Oh, I just lied. I tried doing the maths and I said I had 4.1. That's okay. It is what it is. Should we build a free hit team in a second? Start looking at it, maybe. Get your Blactus out, Ross. Here's Blactus. Is he still working? Hello, Blactus. He does work still. I don't really turn him on because he sort of interrupts me and talks back quite a lot. And I'm not a big fan of that. That's what people think I sound like. I probably do to be. Is that what I sound like? Chat, that's not what I sound like, is it? But yes. Hope you celebrated 1 year of Blackness. Oh, it was his birthday, wasn't it, Yelena? Good to see you in the chat. Wait, it sounds like Pickle's voice. Pickle doesn't sound like that. Oh. Didn't get the super chat in time to answer. Don't worry. Can you answer now, though? What would you do? Oh, did I miss your super chat? Let me have a look. What's your name? Bushman Gaming. Sorry about the slurping down the mic, by the way. I'm drinking a coffee. A cold coffee. It's like an iced coffee, really. Let me read your thing, mate. Got 8 Nuri, Hwang, Bradley, wildcard 34, 1 week punt, 2 free transfers. I probably would have gone like Hwang to Mbermo or Foden if you can afford it. But if you can't, Hwang to Mbermo. 8 Nuri to Regulon or Rico Lewis might have been punts that I could have made with those 3. Bushman Gaming is roughly what I would have probably said. I would have probably gone for Rico Lewis and Mbermo. Would you start 8 Nuri or Gusto? Fan team deadline hasn't passed. Gusto. I'm in a mall in Portugal in the underground car park where there is a laundry, doing my weekly washing, also watching the stream. Just noticed I'm parked next to a Ford Raptor the whole time. I said this. Don't know when it was. I said this to someone. I need to get a Ford Raptor. How cool would that be to have a car called a Raptor? They're actually really nice Ford Raptors as well. Ross, you should be named FPL Boss Ross, FPL's #1 content creator. Why, thank you. I do try my best. I do try my best. Chat, big stretch. Big stretch. Show your challenge team, Ross. I don't think I've built one. This is the issue. I might build it at some point. I'm not going to lie, chat. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it. I feel like my team looks a tad different this week. It probably does to mine, Pickle. Probably does to mine. Let's have a look at your team then. Pickle. So how many players are different? Onana, Gabriel, Saka. Oh, we're 3 players different then. So, chat, who's going to score more points? And I swear to God, if you say Pickle, who's going to score more points? Onana, Gabriel, and Saka versus Raya. Who's my other defender? Bradley, sorry. Right, so Onana, Gabriel, Saka versus Raya, Bradley, Foden. Who scores more points? And I swear to God, if Pickle somehow outscores me again, I'm going to crack my egg like a fried egg on the frying pan. Okay? I mean, Pickle, you could have bench boosted as well. Our benches are looking rather stacked, aren't they? It's not great. It's not ideal. Pickle. Why is everyone saying she's going to score more points? Not to yours, I just mean generally. I think your team looks more like other people's than generally. Pickle. Because everyone else is going to have Saka and Darwin. No, you don't have Darwin, do you? Just Saka. I don't know. I don't see anyone with Onana. We'll probably see. The good thing about Onana, right? I can confirm to you that Onana is going to make at least 3 saves. So you're at least going to get 1 point extra from Onana from saves. It's common knowledge that Pickle is the better player. Don't even know what to say to that. Don't know what to say. I like my team. I'm actually a big fan. I can't believe I sold Saka. Rossi's just Pickle's burner account. Yeah, not the other way around. I've got an itchy. I'm itching my back. Before you start, this is my back, right? But I do have a real bad itch. I know the rumours that you start spreading. Chat, do you remember that time? Who was there in that chat? Do you remember that time when that really loud engine went past and everyone just started making up a rumour that I farted on stream? And then people were like, why won't you own up to your fart? It went on for weeks. People saying that I wouldn't own up to farting. Like, I just let an absolute ripper out in the middle of a stream. It's just outrageous. What did you just scratch? No, this is the thing, chat. You did fart. No, I didn't fart. If I farted, you'd know about it. They're some lethal bastards. FPL not suitable for work. Why is 180p not available? I stream in 720 just because my my defender. What did I mean to say? Oh, my computer. I got the word computer and defender mixed up. My computer is suspect. So if I stream in 180p, it's just it doesn't go very well. Must have been an eggy fart as well. Right, you know what? Right, one coffee done. Over to coffee number 2. This isn't a good idea. I'm going to wee constantly now. I could drink one coffee and all day I'll be weeing, even if I have no other liquid. It's terrible. Are you watching the Grand National? No, I'm not particularly interested myself. Do a free hit team. We could build a free hit team. I don't know if does Fantasy Football Hub actually work though, or does it? It needs time to update, doesn't it? So I don't think I can do it. Yeah, I can't. To be fair, guys, I don't actually want to anyway because it will ruin my video. There's a video that will go live on Monday morning with my first free hit draft. So I think we'll leave that for Monday morning. Yeah, we'll do my free hit draft on Monday morning. Caffeine is a diuretic. Here's a fun fact for you. FPL Pickle is completely unable to not be a nerd. One sec, I want to tuck my leg under my bum. There you go. That feels a bit more comfortable. I've got really bad delayed onset muscle soreness. I've got really bad DOMs in my hamstrings and they're struggling. Have you got no Waitrose trips planned? I don't even know where the nearest Waitrose is. Oh my god, my back. It's my back, I promise, chat. I promise it's my lower back for sure. But I've got a really itchy lower back. Plans for your South London United, any formation or tactic changes? I don't think so, Will. I think we're going to literally stick exactly the same as we did before. Do you know what? Can I just please ask you to do that? I'm just going to ask you straight up. Can you just go sign up to One Future Football for me? There's a link in the description. Let me actually get the link. I always feel really like I shouldn't ask people to, but you know what? You guys are all sat here. You obviously want to support me and support the channel, or you enjoy my content. Can you go over to this link, right? But you have to do a couple of steps, so it's not just about signing up. It'll only take a second. Whilst you're sat here, if you some of the stuff I'm seeing is outrageous, by the way. If you follow this link, right, and once you go to One Future Football, let me show you how to do this. Look at my only shortcut is YouTube. The only thing that I actually use is YouTube on my computer, right? One Future Football, right? Once you go to One Future Football, once you've signed up, on the top right corner, you'll see like your little like profile. If you click on that, you go to Dashboard. Wait, I want to be on this one, don't I? Yeah, you go onto Dashboard. And once you're on Dashboard, it will come up with the ability to support your club here. So where I'm already supporting South London United, you just need to support South. That's it. It's free. This is the club that I'm managing. I'm basically a football manager. But it's an AI team. It's a bit confusing if you haven't watched the video. But regardless, go sign up to South London United. I don't get any money for everyone that signs up, by the way. So this doesn't get me any extra money. I just want you to support my team, basically. I just want some support. Love me. Show me some affection. So, yeah, South London United is my team. Just say you support them there. I'm going to open my daily gift. 520 points. It's okay. I might actually... I might train my... Oh, my God, my cat. My chat has frozen. Excuse me. Okay, my chat's back. Hello. I'm going to train... I want to train Hassan Sabri, I think, actually. I'm going to train Sabri's shooting up. Yes. I'm just going to super train it. Bang. And I'm going to train his delivery as well. And then bang. Okay, Sabri's had a little train. Sabri's basically Mohamed Salah's regen. If I show you, look, it's going to take a while to load because my internet's really struggling. Where's Hassan Sabri? He even looks like Mohamed Salah. He's an 18-year-old Egyptian winger that we've got in our team. Oh my god, my internet, man. It used to be good, my internet. Come on. Come on. Load up. Doms equals bro split. Don't know. Don't think that's true. I do push ball legs. Right, where's Hassan Sabri? Here he is. Look at this man. Beautiful. Zoom in for you. Look at him. 18, Egyptian winger, very promising player. I like him a lot. I own so many cards on this. I'm at 137 players. Can you imagine how much money I've spent on this? Right, let me get off of it. But yeah, basically there's a link in the description. Please sign up and make sure that when you sign up, final thing, and then I'll get off of it, is when you sign up, please make sure that you say you support South London. Right, because if you just sign up, then that doesn't support me. You need to also do the part where you say you support South London United, which you would do on your dashboard. So just make your way to the dashboard. Thank you very much, and I love you all very much. Right, let's get back to whatever you're chatting about. Is there a promo code? No, there's no promo code, but if you use my link in the description, you'll get a free player card. You should do anyway. I don't know if they're still doing that, but you should do. So if you use my link in the description, I think you can actually get up to 3 or 4 free player cards if you use my link. I don't get any free player cards, sadly, anymore. I've maxed it out. So genuinely, there's really no benefit for me using the link. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't gain much. But anyway, use the link because it will help you, essentially. KDB starting means Foden out wide. I disagree with that. It could be Foden and KDB central. If Alvarez starts, it means Foden out wide. But do you know the game that Foden's technically started out wide, where he started on the left? It was the hat-trick against Brentford. Because I remember thinking, Foden's not going to do any damage because he's playing on the wing. And he didn't really play on the wing. He played so centrally anyway. Yeah, Foden and KDB can both play central. It's if Alvarez also starts, then they can't. Sign up done, me egghead. Thank you very much. Yeah, if anyone has signed up, I appreciate you. Have I got my... Actually, I've probably got my team selection here. I can show you my team. One sec. I know I'm just in a black abyss at the moment, but give me a sec. This is my team going into round 2. There you go. So we play a 3 at the back. 3-5-2. Tesselar, Eke, Nor, Grondon, Sikora, Alcock, Obag, Bamiro. Took me a while to get to learn to say that. Sabri, Moyano, and Sinclair. We lost 1-0 in the first game of the season, which was a bit sad. But, yeah, we'll see what happens in round 2. We're playing against Angelinos, who are from LA. We'll see. But this is the team I'm rocking. I'm just going to keep the exact same team for now. If we lose again, maybe I have to start thinking about changing some I really thought this team would do well, though. So we'll see. We had a pretty good performance in round 1, to be honest. So, when are you moving Grondon to the central? Yeah, I know. To be fair, Will, Obag Bamiro can play right mid and left mid. So I could literally just move Obag Bamiro to right mid, move Grondon into the centre, move Sikora back a bit, and then I can play Grondon in the central attacking midfield role. So that's an option, is that I do bring Grondon into the middle. No Brexit 4-4-2. I was tempted to go full Brexit, like full Sean Dyche at Burnley. If you lose Raptor out, I'm fully expecting there to be claims for Raptor out. Absolutely. Who do you reckon gets more points this week, Onana or Kelleher? Probably Kelleher, to be honest. Probably Kelleher. Where's the balance if there's no Rodri in midfield, though? I assume it will just be Kovacic in there, or it will be Nunes just sat in the Rodri role. It could even be like Rico Lewis and... Like Rico Stones won't play, will he? Rico Lewis and a Kanji in midfield. What can I do with points? I've got 9,700 points. Harris, if you own any South London players, let me know which players you own. If you own any South London players, then train your South London players. Otherwise, wait until you get South London players and then train them. Theoretically, if we own enough of the club, are we allowed to sack the gaffer? Genuinely, I think they're doing stuff in the future where the more credits that you own, the more say you get over how the club's run. I don't think they've got that in place right now, but that's the whole point of the club credit system. So yeah, you might be able to sack me if you own enough of the club. The fact that these players have their own AI Instagram is mad. It's actually insane. Let me go over to my Instagram. Am I logged in, actually? I don't think I'm logged in, am I? Yeah, I'm not logged in. I can't be bothered to log in. Let me show you on my phone. Yeah, the players have their own Instagram. And it's like run by AI. It's just... AI is just so insane these days. Where is Ruben Sinclair? Ruben... So this is our star player. This is his Instagram. Do you know what? Let me put this here so I can see what I'm doing. Right, so this is Ruben Sinclair's Instagram. Right, and it like these aren't real pictures of a real person. Like it's all AI generated. But some of them look like so insanely real. I love him. He's an absolute legend, Ruben Sinclair. There was one. Like, I wouldn't even have known that it wasn't a real thing. Where was the picture that I saw that? I was like, oh my God, that looks... Like, they're mental. Oh, that was the one. That just genuinely looks like a really bougie thing. It's so funny. Am I the manager? Yeah, I'm the manager of the team. I've just been spamming points into Alcock. I love that. To be fair, Alcock, because he's at a certain age, will start declining soon. So the fact that you're spamming points into Alcock means that it will continue to perform at a decent level. I really appreciate that, actually. Just trained James Alcock. Perfect. Yeah, train Alcock. Absolutely. We are so effed when AI takes over, won't be able to tell what is real. AI is scary, isn't it? It actually does scare me. Because, like, you can make people that say things that didn't say things, say them. Like, if you were good at AI, you could create a clip of me saying something that I didn't say. And then how do you know whether it's true or not? Is there a youth academy in One Future Football? Or how do you know what young talent to find? I think each year they basically create new athletes. And depending on how you finish in the season, there's like draft picks. You know, like in the NBA. So every year we'll have the opportunity to select some young players that come through the system. Ross, look up. What am I looking up at? I don't know what I'm looking up at. How much does training help? I did a single super train on DRB. Oh, so a single super train, if you get the player to 100%, it basically boosts their overall stats, like in FIFA or something like that. So they'll get an overall boost to their rating. So getting them up to 100% helps a lot. If they don't reach 100%, it doesn't help until they hit 100%. So if you super train someone, pretty cool. Could you tell us why you took charge of South London? Honestly, I've been using One Future Football for 6 months before they approached me for the job. So that's the truth. I just absolutely love it. I just think it's such a cool concept. Like FPL Pick will be able to confirm. I've spent hours on One Future Football. Like, do you know how I can show you that I've spent... Do you know what? There's actually proof here. Because I know some people think you just do it for a bit of a cheap dollar. The way that I can show you is... Oh, where will it be actually? Is there used to be a way to see your lifetime points. I don't know if you can see that anymore. By the way, there's a fantasy game for One Future Football I would definitely do if you've not yet. I don't know that I can actually. There used to be a way. Yeah, you can't. I've got something like 800,000 lifetime points. I mean, you can see by how many players I own actually. That's a good point. I own just a silly amount of players. 137. So anyway, yeah, but I took it because I loved the site. But do you know the skill levels of these players in the draft? No, but they have like a ranking for them. So we have like let me show you actually. I might be able to show you this. Sorry, I won't talk about One Future Football the whole time if you don't care. I do apologise. I know it's a bit, for some people, they're like, I just couldn't care less. So before the start of the season, I got this. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Okay, yeah, you can. So I got this scouting report, and each player, it has like how they got on last season. So I've got their ranking for each player. So it gave me a bit of an idea about who to pick and where they can play and stuff. It's even got their stability, their sociability, their politics, their temperament. Like each player's got different levels of everything. But for like the draft players, where's Hassan Sabri? It gave him a rating. Can you see here? Summary. So Hassan Sabri was the highest rated draft player because he had A, B, B, C. So he was very highly rated, basically. I've also got which player they're like. I don't know if you can see like the top part of the screen just there. It says which player they're like. So Grondon's like Zidane. Sinclair's like Tammy Abraham, like in terms of style. James Alcock's like Jordan Henderson. Julian Alvarez for Renzo Moyano. Nemanja Vidic for Amit Prasad. So I got this report, this scouting report for all of the players, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so there's lots of, they give me so much data to choose from, players and stuff. This wasn't the only document I got. So yeah, a fair amount goes into all this. It's not just a random simulated thing. Ross, are you playing Haas, Eke, or Salzar? Eke starts every game. He's our club captain, actually. Raptor, it won't let me sign up to One Future Football. Is there a support email? What's it saying, mate? You should be able to sign up. Sabri with BBC, don't start. Why are the players naked in the photos? I don't know. It's AI generated. Yeah, Eke's our club captain. It's pretty cool. I love it, to be honest. I'm a nerd. Will they allow PayPal to be a payment method? It's not currently an option, which is why I haven't spent any money on One Future Football. Let me ask now. I can literally, I can DM the developer straight away. Oh my God. Do you know what? I won't do that now. Slack is crashing. I'll DM the developer afterwards and I'll ask about PayPal, Sophie. I don't know. I just use my card, but I'm not sure. Right. Tony has tweeted. What has Tony tweeted? Let's have a look. Son, Gordon, and Isak all start. Livramento and Lewis Hall are on the bench. So if you went for Lewis Hall this week, he's not available yet. Has the site updated? Site's updated. Let's have a look. I hope it has anyway. Let's have a look. If I refresh and it hasn't, then... Wait, what? Someone just said the site had updated. Now I've lost my team. All right, well, guess we'll just train some players instead. I want to train Sinclair up again. Sinclair's got to come good for me soon. He's pissing me off, to be honest. I'm not a very patient manager. I've already trained him up so much. Oh, physical's pretty much fully trained. Let me finish that off then. Bloody. Should we just fully train Sinclair in the hope that he actually blinking does something for once? Right, let me just fully train everything. I don't know why someone's trained his defense all the way up, but I appreciate it anyway. He's a striker, Sinclair, but... Okay, Sinclair's fully trained. Let's maybe have a look at Renzo Moyano as well. Obag Bamiro could probably do with some training. Has anyone been training him? His physical's already very good. I think it's his possession which needs some work. Can you build a free hit draft? That'll be happening on Monday. Monday there'll be a free hit draft. What shall I super train for Eke? Defending. He's a centre back, so defending. Ross, are you ignoring my messages on purpose? No, mate. What are you saying? Oh, bench Saka for Solanke in normal FPL. Good shout, you think? No, I would have started Saka, but I don't think it's a bad shout. No, I wasn't ignoring your messages. I don't read every single message. So the other team's managed by real people as well. Yeah, all of the teams are managed by real people now. Signed up last week, just got 10 club credits from the daily gift. That's actually pretty banging. It's not bad at all. I obviously own players that are from not from South London. I don't want to train anyone that's not from South London. Right, Renzo Moyano. He's my like young forward that. Oh, someone's trained his physical. Cool. Thank you to whoever trained up Moyano's physical. I'll train up his shooting again. I need to score goals, man. My team's just not scoring goals. Get that trained up. I'm going to run out of points very soon, by the way. I don't have unlimited points, by the way. You can't see it's just off screen. I've got 31,000 points left now. Right, I'll leave it there, I think. For the fantasy game, there's a free and a pro mode. I think on the pro mode, I've already entered my team, haven't I? Oh, no, I haven't. Crap. Okay, I need to enter my team. Oh, no, I have. I've already entered my team. Oh, the deadline was yesterday. I didn't even know that. Oh, dear. I missed that deadline. Oh, it's going on now. Oh, the game is ongoing. Is it? I'm so confused. Who knows? Who knows? I think the game's ongoing right now. I want to go back to FPL, really, but I unfortunately refreshed, and now I don't have my team. Now it just says this. Oh, FPL Challenge. Let's do that, because everyone was wanting to do FPL Challenge. Teams are out. Yeah, let's... Do you know what? Let's first look at the teams, and then we'll do FPL Challenge. Dubravka, Share, Gordon, Isak, Barnes, Kraft, Murphy, Anderson, Byrne, Longstaff, Bruno G. At least Livramento's on the bench, though. That's positive news. Although not if you went for Lewis Hall, it's not positive news, because now Livramento probably starts at left back. Could start at right back, I suppose, but then Trippier will be back soon. Then we want to check Spurs. Werner starts again. Johnson starts again. Kulusevski on the bench again. Udogi starts. Vicarius, pretty much their strongest 11, right? Although Bentancur... Has Bentancur been starting? I don't think he has. So Bentancur in the starting 11. Are people being nice about my team? I thought people would hate my moves. Saka will punish you. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was expecting more of, to be honest. Right, Fantasy Challenge. Create a team. Red cards are worth -8. Yellow cards are worth -5. Do you know what we should do, chat? Should we try and build the worst team possible? I think we should try and build a team that's going to get the most yellows and reds possible. Murphy starting at right back. Is he? Should we put Murphy in them? Murphy's going to get booked if he's starting at right back, isn't he? Wait, there's two... Oh, there is, isn't there? Which Murphy is that? Is that Jacob Murphy? Let's play and try and get the most yellows and reds. Because that's more fun, isn't it? Yeah, get Gordon in there. You're not wrong, Pickle. That's not a bad shout at all. Wait, so let me have a bit more of a look at this Newcastle team. No, it's Alex Murphy's on the bench. So you're telling me... No, Emil Krath will play at right back. Emil Krath at right back. Share and Byrne. And then at left... Oh, no, you are right. Because there's no left back. So do you think it's Jacob Murphy at right back? If that's the case, I might... Because he's not a defender, really. So let's... Okay. Right, Jacob Murphy. Done. What Spurs players? Bentancur loves the yellow, doesn't he? Then we want Sheffield United defenders. Bogle. I'm sure Bogle loves... Yeah, Bogle's on 9 yellows. Bogle loves yellow. Oh, you can't see this very well. Does that work better? Yeah, there you go. Right, we're trying to build the worst team possible. red cards are -8 and yellow cards are -5. So we want players that are going to get... Sorry. We want players that are going to get red and yellow cards. Romero. Do I think Romero might get booked, to be fair? I want to finish on minus points, preferably, if we can. I don't want just Spurs and just... Yeah, Jackson. Yeah, it's written in the stars, isn't it, for Nico Jackson? No, but I don't want to pick Jackson. Because Jackson might get a goal. I want players that are likely to get booked or sent off, but that don't... Casemiro, yeah. Yeah, do you know what? Facts. I want players that, yeah, they're going to get booked or sent off, but that don't get actual FPL points. No, because Darwin, I think, will do well this week. Neil Mopay? He doesn't get enough minutes, does he? Maybe it is Jackson. I reckon Mateta could get booked. I reckon he could. Right, I feel like the defense... I feel like we need to play 5 at the back here, probably, don't we? Probably 3-5-2. Right, goalkeeper. Edison gets booked all the time, but he's going to keep a clean sheet. Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez. There's always some sort of shithousery there, Emi Martinez. If you've just joined, welcome. We're trying to build the most anti-FPL kind of most likely to get booked and sent off team. Tarkovsky loves a yellow. Senesi's... The fact that Senesi has got that many bookings and he hasn't played for a while is crazy, isn't it? Do we think Lucadine or Moreno will start? I feel like going for another defender against Arsenal, potentially. Bloody hell. Paulinia's on 12 yellows. Paulinia's going in them. Jorginho and McGinn. Yeah. Ashley Young could do. Moreno. You think about Moreno? Let me switch to a 5 at the back then. 5-4-1. Oh, I like a 5-4-1. Okay, let me put Moreno in then. Any Luton defender? Oh, yeah, Luton defender. What am I thinking? Who's going to start for Luton? They've got no players left. Who's actually starting for them? Look at their defensive injuries. Who's starting for Berry? But I want a defender. Is Burke going to start? Oh my god, how bad are their injuries? Okay, yeah, Hashioka's going to have to be the one. Okay. I actually don't want Romero. I think I'm going to change Romero in a second. Or I might go 4-5-1. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. John McGinn. Yeah, I could see McGinn getting a card. Or Sander Berger. I'm going to go Sander Berger. Don't know why. Just got a feeling. Yeah. Sorry, we're playing anti... We're trying to get as many bookings and red cards and stuff as possible. I actually don't want Casemiro. I don't think Casemiro's going to get... Bentancur I'm going to remove, actually. I'm going to bring in instead... Let me just transfer out. I like the idea of Berry. Okay. I think that looks good. Then we just need to... Actually, I want to bring... Yep, like that. Then goalkeeper. Who's another goalkeeper? Onana loves a good booking, doesn't he? I feel like it's got to be Edison. Edison gets booked all the time. Edison's on 5 yellow cards this season. Yeah, got to be Edison. And then another forward. We'll just go Darwin, because Darwin loves a booking. Right, lock the team in. Done. Right, let me screenshot my team, ready to tweet out. Lucas Paqueta and Alvarez. Alvarez gets booked all the time. Yeah, maybe who would Alvarez go in for? Maybe Jacob Murphy's not the best one to put. Although I think he's out of position. I quite like the idea of. I wish I didn't have to play a forward. You know. Oh, who do we captain? Probably like that. Okay. Right, I think my team's done. Let me screenshot that. Let's tweet that out. Red. I don't even know what it's called. Red card, yellow card, fantasy challenge team. Hoping I might reach -10. -10. No, what am I aiming for? What's a good aim here? If you think, let's say everyone plays and gets minutes, so that's 22. A few yellows. I'd say -10 points would be good. Yeah. Bang. Team done. I think. Yeah, there we go. Right, fantasy challenge done. Apparently the FPL has now updated properly. So let me go back to fantasy. It has. Excellent. Let me refresh it. Let me go on to pick team. Right. To be fair, right? It's actually not awful, my team, for this next week. If I had 2 free transfers, if I'd have rolled, I could have dealt with it. Not gone for João Pedro, kept Darwin. I could have maybe saved the free hit, but I just committed to the free hit a long time ago, I think. Because Bradley might not get all the minutes in the world. I've only got... Well, I had one more Arsenal. I've got one Arsenal now in Raya. It's just, I need the free hit. So I will be free hitting. Play the free hit. Oh, I need to do it when I make the transfers. Should we make a couple of transfers? Chat and lock in the free hit. Do you have a league code for this challenge thing? Yeah, one sec. Leagues, YouTube, administer. Here we go. It's F2X1CR. F2X1CR. There you go. I just put it in the chat as well. That's the league code. Right. So goalkeeper, Petrovic definitely isn't going to be in my team. Udoggy's not going to be in the team. Sonny's not going to be. Palmer's not going to be. There will be questions, I'm sure. You don't lose value on players on free hit. Like, you just get back your original team at the original value. So you don't have to worry about that. So don't stress about losing value on your players. Henderson will come in. Gabriel will come in for sure. Who else might come in? Defender-wise, Van Dijk might be the one. Verge, isn't he? Big Verge. And then Palmer. Who else? I'll probably have Eze, I reckon, in there. And I'd want Saka back, wouldn't I? Let's just make those moves for now so we can activate the free hit. Done. Make transfers. This time I actually want to play the free hit. Confirm transfers and play free hit. Done. Free hit is active. And you know what that means? We can do the tweet. You know, do the tweet. It only matters if you... It doesn't count if you don't tweet it, you know? So we screenshot this. And then we tweet it out. We say, the time has come. bang, free hit active. You don't need to, by the way, you don't need to activate your free hit now at all. If you wanted to, I was like, why is it so zoomed in? If you want to leave it for a bit, you can. But I just know I'm going to need to. Big Verge. The team's looking all right already, you know, just after those few transfers. Just in case I do get hit by a bus, let me just make a few changes. That's obviously not going to be my team, by the way, I should just say. This was my team for this week. How long till your train? Yeah, I probably should go, shouldn't I? Because I need to eat. I thought it was at like 1 and it's at like 2. So I've got a little bit more time than I thought, which is nice. So I've got 2 hours till my train. So I do need to eat, probably shower, finish packing and stuff. So why does Goalkeeper for Sheffield United have the 3rd highest potential on Fantasy Football Hub? 2 really good fixtures. He's playing Man United and Burnley. So the fixtures are there. I'm tempted by a Sheffield United player. If price changes on your current team whilst free hit is active, does your budget go up from... Yeah. Yeah, so let's say you own Palmer and Palmer goes up in price. You gain the price rise on Palmer. Even if you've sold him in your free hit team. But you don't gain budget on the players that you bring in, right? So let's say you bring in Gabriel on your free hit and Gabriel goes up twice in price. You don't gain any money on Gabriel. Does that make sense? Okay, chat, thank you for a lovely stream. This was pretty crazy, pretty manic stream, but I do really appreciate the support. I appreciate you being here as always. Make sure to subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Make sure to check out South London United and One Future Football. There is a link in the description. Hopefully, Foden and João Pedro smash it. Hopefully, Saka and Darwin don't. And yeah, I will be back on probably Monday morning, 7:30 a.m., where I'll have my first proper free hit draft, and we can take a look at the best combinations of players for 34. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.